Hey, what's happening, gamers? How's everybody doing? 10 years later, here we are. Different channel, but same thing. Just a kind reminder, please do not super chat. The channel is currently under a hostage situation with a rival network, or rebel network, or rogue network. You'll be paying them money. If you want to help the channel, check out our Patreon. So that's kind of eerily similar to where we were 10 years ago. It's freaky. But we'll be playing Batman Arkham Knight on the Steam Deck. This game will use a recommended template layout. I don't care. Let's go. Hopefully this will be kind of cool on Steam Deck. The channel is... This channel and 300 YouTube channels are currently under a hostage situation by a network that has stolen... I think it's a few $1 million at this point. May and June payments from at least 300 YouTubers that are under its network banner. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're impacted, and nothing can really be done. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I have a video that's going to release on Wednesday that you guys can help get exposure and, you know, whatever. It'll be released on the O1 channel because this channel is shadow banned, so. Explain everything that's going on and talk about the events of how it's happened. But pretty much, Amber and I haven't been paid for 7 days now. Our bank accounts are all negative. And 300 content creators are freaking out. But I'm the only one speaking out. Because YouTube wants people to just put it under the rug. It's not happening this time. Because the same thing happened in 2014, 2015. I'm not letting it happen again to the point where I'm just staying silent. So I'm going to basically explain everything that's happening in a video that's about 30 minutes long. Be releasing on the O1 channel at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Because there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff about YouTube you guys have no idea. And hopefully we can catch the people that stole the money. Maybe get some people their losses back. I don't know. It's a very touch-and-go situation, though, right now. But we ask that people do not super chat, because you'll be paying those people. Because we don't have access to the finances of this channel currently. Or any of our channels. O1 channel, this channel, any of that stuff. Only Patreon. It's been a rough 7 days. It's going to be a rougher 12 days, too. Because there's still a couple... what is it, like a week and a half left of June or something? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Alright, click here to start. I'm actually using a PS3 controller, so we're celebrating Arkham old school. I've got my PS3 controller hooked up to my Steam Deck. And you guys want the Bale skin, huh? I can't see anything. Let's make it a little brighter, okay? Because I'm an old man now. Subtitles on. Everything else is fine, I think. Difficulty's fine. The question is, do I have access to all the skins, though? Because not only is this the 10th anniversary of Arkham Knight, it's also the 20th anniversary of Batman Begins. June is the 20th anniversary of Batman Begins. So we gotta rock the Bale skin. Promises made. Promises kept. Right. Where is he? Whoa! Really? That's what he looked like? Am I playing this on Switch? Is that... Really? I thought he looked darker. Oh. Oh, man. Is that really? That's what the skin looks like? Okay. Well, alright. Well. There we go. And we want to have him run around in a very classy Batmobile. Oh, they don't have the Batman skin? They have the Batman and Robin. Oh, really? I thought he had the 60s thing. And we're also going to have to lower the music because you guys won't hear me over the music. So apparently during the Ben Affleck series, I promised to play as Bale in my next Arkham series during the 10-year anniversary, so here we are. I can't lose my voice, though, so we'll be using Bale sparingly. Sorry. When I made that promise, I was in my 30s. I'm not in my 30s anymore. I can't afford to lose my voice, because here's the difference now. The difference now is I'm a full-time live streamer that streams 10 to 11 hours a day, for one. When I was making these Batman videos, I was doing daily uploads, which daily uploads you do a recording session of 2 to 3 hours a few times a week and you're done. Live stream is you're talking all the time. Bale will kill my throat a lot, so sparingly. Can't even do a good Bale anymore. Ugh. Wow. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm not even messing with all the PC stuff. We should be good to go. Alright, let's do it. Got the Bale skin, we got everything else. How much I've played this game? I'm sick of all the Arkham games. You kidding me? Yeah, this is super copyright. You guys can't hear it, it's fine. Steam Deck. Should we tell people we're playing on the Switch too to trick people? Oh, that'd be bad. No, I'm not going to do that. This is Steam Deck. So the thumbnail is an homage to Bale and Arkham. So I kind of threw that together. I've got you under my skin. Burn! Hey, Wally.
This is how it happened. This is how the Batman died.
Womp. Can we just do the story? Will Kwing get distracted? Find out today! Same bat time, same
9 months
bat
ago,
channel.
Joker was cremated. I pressed the button and burnt the evil bastard myself. And then, we waited. Gotham braced itself for the inevitable power struggle. But it didn't come. Crime actually fell. Deep down, I knew war was coming. I was just waiting for someone to pull the trigger.
Yeah, so we got more people coming in. Do not super chat, please. I don't have access to the finances of the channel currently. So if you want to help out the channel, there's Patreon.
Thanks.
No problem. Oh, thanks, honey. So?
Whoa, this runs really fast.
Usual?
Sure.
Whoa!
Okay,
Whoa!
chicken salad with no dressing.
No, you know what? Make it waffles. With a side of bacon. Don't tell my wife.
Whatever you say, officer. Oh, and if you want some more coffee, just shout.
But why what? Well, because people will, if you super chat, the people who have this channel will get paid and we won't. Because they haven't paid us.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner, Officer.
8 days, no payment.
Owens. But there's a guy smoking over there in the corner booth.
Wait here. I'll have a word.
Yep, 8 days, no payment. We were supposed to be paid on the 16th. For our May earnings, we were not. Poor guy, just wants to have his food and he's got to go investigate. Wow, this moves so fast. Whoa! It's like playing Batman on an emulator. There we go. Now I'm barely touching this. If I do touch it, it's like whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
She started doing it to everyone, asking about their weekends, their evenings,
Excuse me,
Notice
sir.
how he's written
There's no
anarchy
smoke.
on the table. This is Steam Deck. That's Batman. Wait, no, that's Batman. Wait, were Batman and Robin both here? Because there were two people. That's definitely Batman. Was Robin there in the restaurant?
This demonstration used just 5 ounces of my latest toxin. Tomorrow, this will seem like child's play. Gotham, this is your only warning.
Batman wasn't in the restaurant, you sure?
Scarecrow's threat worked. Yesterday, there were 6.3 million people in Gotham City. Today, not so many.
I can explain what happened to the channel once I have control of the character.
The only people left on the streets are the sort that enjoy the chaos.
Gotham's finest.
Scum. Criminals. And worse. Not enough good people left to stop them. It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city. Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
That's my cue. Hi, chat. This is my city. Why do I look so light? It's supposed to be dark, mysterious, broody. Gotham.
Whoa, this camera angle. Whoa, it's so fast now. Alright, this might take some getting used to.
Let's go. Whoa.
Scarecrow pulling this on Halloween. Guess he's got a sense of humor after
Whoa,
all.
my cape glide is so fast now.
Just call me the Flash.
Did you hear about the guy working with Scarecrow? That case of bad envy.
Boo.
I'm just glad you made it out okay.
Hi, Jim.
Sorry, I've got to go. Stay safe, Barbara. You still know how to make an entrance.
How's the evacuation going?
Last bus crossed the city limits an hour ago. I'm just glad my little girl got out when she did. Now the real work begins.
Any lead on Scarecrow?
We were tracking an unknown military vehicle speeding through Chinatown. It's the only lead we've had all night, but they gave us the slip. With the evacuation, I just don't have the manpower left in the city.
If you find it, tell your men not to engage. I'll deal with it.
Do you really think Scarecrow's crazy enough to detonate a chemical weapon in Gotham?
I won't let that happen, Jim. In case you need to reach me, it's going to be a long night.
All units, we've got a 1033 in Sector 2. Missing patrol car. Unit 247. Suspected officer down.
Hey, Batman. Every damn time.
Time to go to work.
Oracle, I need the location of Unit 247.
Already working on it.
Yeah, that does hurt.
How's my dad doing?
He's holding up.
Somehow, he always does. Okay, I'm sending through the squad car's location. Be careful. It's not looking good out there.
Okay, so we're gonna make our way to our destination. Real quick. Somebody's like, what happened in the channel now? Is it hacked again? No. Every YouTube channel, unless they have millions and millions of subscribers, is part of something called an MCN. It's a subsidiary of YouTube that YouTube does not run. And the network is paid based on commission of collecting different YouTubers, like, paychecks, basically. So, think of the MCN as a talent agency. So the talent agency exists because it gets a commission based on the talent. Well, unfortunately, the talent agency went rogue, and they're withholding payment to 300 people. Unfortunately, I'm one of the 300. So Kwings Let's Plays has not been paid its May earnings, Nightwing 01 hasn't been paid its May earnings, and my bank account is negative. We were supposed to be paid on June 16th. It is now June 23rd.
They're gonna find me. We've got plenty of...
So I had to tap into my life savings and pay my rent because we've had 10 years ago, right before Arkham Knight came out, there was an incident that not many people know about, known as Gorilla Digital and Foxhill, where a bunch of rogue YouTube employees stole $4 million from YouTube. I lost 50 grand. It also put me in financial jeopardy for, like, ever. So, from, what was it, October 2014 until January 2015, Kwings Let's Plays Nightwing 01, and we had one other channel that was doing mature games, didn't receive one dime. So, no holiday bonus, no nothing. We had to live off our savings from the 2014 year, and by the time 2015 rolled around, we had no savings left. So, the company stole money, and they fled to the Cayman Islands, and nobody ever caught them. And YouTube never did anything about it either.
Thanks, Batman. I thought they were gonna kill me.
Stay there.
The city's overrun. We don't stand a chance.
Stay here. I'll send someone to pick you up.
What are you doing?
Evening
I
the
knew he
odds.
was going to say that.
Where the hell did they get their hands on military hardware?
Not my problem.
Alright, the PC version looks nice.
Time to go to work.
Oracle, I need to track that military vehicle.
A squad car has picked up the pursuit. I'm relaying its location now.
So anyway, we'll let Kevin talk.
Oscar 5-6, this is Commissioner Gordon. I'm calling off the pursuit. It's too dangerous. Sir, we're right here. We can take these.
Gotta get used to these camera angles now. The car feels like it moves slower.
What the? They just fired an RPG at us. Who the hell are these guys? 5-6, pull
Does the
back
frame
now.
rate feel weird to you guys? Feels a little
Let
weird to
Batman
me.
deal with this.
5-6 has taken a direct hit from an RPG. They're gone, sir.
Please, Batman, you've got to stop them.
Don't worry, kid. He's mine.
Weird.
Approaching the Bank of Gotham.
takes care of the vehicle. I need to interrogate the driver and find out what he knows.
Okay, maybe a little bit of frame rate issues. Not so much frame rate issues when you're Batman, but the car still
crash site,
on Steam Deck runs a little weird. All right, so I'll finish my story. So these people in 2014 basically hijacked, I don't remember how many channels there was. There was a lot. I think there was like 200 channels that were in that network. YouTube was not notified for 2 months. I and a couple other partners notified them, but by then it was too late. And they had made off with all the money. A lot of YouTubers didn't get paid. One YouTuber self-yeeted. It was very bad. And it never made any news because YouTube asked people not to talk about it. So it was kind of a scandal. It was a pretty big scandal that never made it to the light of day. It was very bad.
Where's Scarecrow?
Go to hell.
Give me that.
Where is he?
I got nothing to say to you, Batman.
Talk, or I'll crush every bone in your body.
Okay. He's working out of a penthouse in Chinatown. I swear that's all I know.
If you're lying, I'll break the other one.
The other what?
Yeah, the Batman stuff looks fine. It's the car that doesn't perform very well. Oh well.
Oracle, check the chemical analysis I've just uploaded.
Sure. Is this what I think it is?
Scarecrow's new toxin. An uncontaminated sample.
You're not kidding. I'll prepare a full chemical breakdown on the back computer. What are you going to do?
Scarecrow's got a safe house nearby. I'm going to pay him a visit.
Let's hope this is the break we've been waiting for.
Okay, you gonna talk, Bruce? Okay. Alrighty, so we're going this way.
This is the place. I should check the penthouse on the top floor.
Wait, they already saw me? I guess I'll just walk up there. So, 10 years later, it's kind of funny that the same crime that's happening with YouTube right now is being committed again, this time under a new company called Nagato, which is the name of a Naruto villain, I believe. So, this network is located in Stockholm, Sweden. And so far, about 150 YouTube partners are impacted that we know of. It could be close to 300, though, because they own a, there's a two-network team that are located in Sweden, so both networks could be in on it. But they were supposed to pay Amber and I and a bunch of other content creators on the 16th of June. Our May earnings. Right? So this company has gone dark. No one has seen or heard from them in Sweden since the 15th of June. Which leads us to believe 2 or 3 things. 1, the people who work there are dead. 2, the people who work there have fled with the money. And so many content creators are going to be in for a big surprise on the 30th when most content creators get paid. Only a few handful YouTubers opt out or opt in for early payment where there's a 3% fee. So they take 3% off your paycheck in order to pay you on the 16th. And I've been doing that for many years because my bills come out on the 23rd and the 20th and things like that. So it takes a while for your paycheck to clear in a digital account and be transferred to your bank account. Now the Bale voice is already starting to mess me up. So what's going on with these people is allegedly no one has seen them since the 15th of June. So what's likely happening, because YouTube's basically washed their hands of this, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to call the authorities. They're not checking up on anybody. In fact, they wrote me a message basically saying that all payments are the responsibility of the MCN. So they're saying Nagato. If Nagato does not pay the content creators, it is not our responsibility to help with any losses or to, you know, follow through to make sure that your payments are happening. You have a contract with a multi-channel network who is under us, but we don't run it, and they're not our employees. So pretty much they say, good luck, Charlie. You know, that's YouTube. And that's the same response YouTube gave to many content creators in 2014 when a similar incident happened. Now, last time YouTube asked people not to, you know, talk about the crime or even, you know, tell the police. If I'm not paid by Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be speaking with the Stockholm Police Department. And I will be following what do they call it?
Sir,
I'll be pressing charges on Nagato.
Were you expecting to find me, Batman? I'm afraid I'm not to disappoint you. Take a look at the chamber. I want you to know the fear that is coming.
Listen up, Bat Freak. We're walking out of here, nice and slow. You try anything stupid, I'll blow her brains out.
Charming. But only one of us is getting out of this cell.
No! No! No!
Nothing like a little natural immunity. What are you doing here?
Why did Scarecrow lock you up?
No hello?
Tell me.
And what if I don't want to?
Then I burn every plant in Gotham.
It started with a meeting.
What meeting?
Everyone was there. Penguin, Two-Face, Riddler, even poor Harley. Scarecrow said he had a plan. That together we could take you out, and Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea. I told him that I wasn't interested in his pathetic human games. And when I came to, I was locked up in that room. It's such a shame that his vile toxin has no effect on me. Nature always wins. Will he ever learn?
You're coming with me.
You only had to ask. What's wrong?
Go, go, go! We got the target, sir. He's cornered. Don't move.
Are you sure it's him?
Confirmed, it's Batman.
Sir, that tank they have backing them up is unmanned.
Good.
I thought this would be tough. All it took was one tank.
And we brought an army to take you on. What a waste. This is it, boys. What everyone's afraid of.
You could just surrender.
Cannon operational. Riot suppressor engaged. Batman, I've spotted 6 more unmanned tanks moving to Chinatown. They'll be there any second.
Okay, so we're gonna have to lower this. So yeah, that's what's different this time around, is even if YouTube basically tells me not to say anything, we don't know how much money has been stolen because it's only been 2 months. Like, May's income and, like, what's happening with June right now. So I reached out to the guy who owns Nagato, who's not in Sweden, and because I know him. And I'm like, okay, I haven't been paid yet. And he's like, well, I'm going to check on it. So he checked on it Thursday, and then he wrote back to me, because I sleep during the day for reasons. I work at night, I sleep during the day. So I saw a frantic email from him around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I was getting up to work on Thursday. Because I contacted him right away when I didn't have my money clear by, like, I think it was like the 17th or something like that. I was like, this is suspicious, because usually the money's in the account, and then I can start the transfer process to the bank. And it wasn't there, so I contacted him right away. I was like, this is oddly familiar to something that, you know, we've gone through before. Well, not him, but I've gone through it. And so, when I woke up that day, or whatever, he was like, you need to unlink your channel immediately. We haven't been paid either. He says, I can't pay the partners without them, you know, doing it.
The master of understatement as ever.
Alright, I need to know where those tanks are coming from.
I'm tracking several transport helicopters moving into the city. There are more on the way.
Activate the Batmobile weapon diagnostics. It's time to go to war.
Okay. So when he had that email, and he's usually a very chill person, right? So when he told me to unlink my YouTube channel through the dashboard, which is... YouTubers have what's known as a kill switch, where you can exit certain, like, bad companies. And what that does is that sends an alert to their CMS, their content management system, and it tells them, hey, a partner is trying to leave your network. You need to wine and dine them and figure out why they're unhappy so they stick around so we can keep making money off of them. So the fact that I believe 50 channels activated the kill switch on Friday, which would be June 19th, I think? Was it June 19th? June 20th. So at least 50 YouTube channels hit the kill switch. And what was supposed to happen is the network would get a notification that people are trying to quit the channel. They're trying to quit that company and go sign with another agency or whatever. That's what's supposed to happen. And then they're like, whoa, 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 why are you trying to leave? You know, that's usually what happens. Every YouTube network has always done that. No response. I emailed Nagato on the 18th. No response. I emailed them again on the, let's see, Friday. No response, twice. I contacted YouTube and got a hold of their legal department. I was like, hey, you know that incident? Because everybody at YouTube knows what it is. They know what the Forella Digital and Foxittle thing is. I said, the Foxittle thing is happening again. I have reason to believe that the Foxittle incident is occurring again. And so YouTube was like, all right, we're going to get you in touch with the security team and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, tell us what's going on. So I told the people that cared what was going on. And they were like, okay, yeah, that's not good. And they said, you were supposed to get paid on what? This date? And they're like, all right, we're going to try to get a hold of them. So this guy I know who works at YouTube, at the end of the night, on Friday...
I need to power up the secondary weapon to level 2 before firing.
At the end of the night, he got a hold of me, and he was like, we can't reach the Swedish company. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't reach them? He says, we can't reach them. I said, that's impossible. And, you know, after that, I was kind of like, I was trusting my gut, and I was like, these guys are gone. I
need to power up
like, these guys took the money and they ran, just like what happened in 2014. So I was seeing a familiar pattern, right? And one thing that people don't realize about me, I don't trust anybody. My circle of trust is very small. Incredibly small. So when somebody doesn't do what I want, or they don't fulfill their obligations, like in terms of a contract, I start to get very suspicious. And then my plans start to go into motion. So, while I was contacting YouTube at the same time, I put out 50 emails. And I contacted every United States press agency that I have a contact for from my time when I was a game journalist. So I wrote out a basic formatted email explaining the situation, what's going on, talking about how it's one of the biggest YouTube scandals in like 12 years or whatever. Whoever could get to people to respond to me. Out of the 50 people that I contacted in terms of the press, I only heard, and YouTubers, I heard back from 15 people in total. Out of the 15 people that responded, only 5 said they were going to do anything. 2 offered me spots on their podcasts for Monday the 23rd and Wednesday the 25th. Both of them rescinded the offer because they're too busy chasing woke stuff. They don't think it's a big enough story, so they're not going to run with it. I had a couple people on Saturday call me and interrupt my live streams, so I was speaking to them. They were basically fishing for information about the manager, or not the manager, the person who owns Nagato is what they wanted. Link, do you need to get in the basement? Okay. Good boy. See, Link tells me when he needs to go use the bathroom. Link is a smart cat. Probably gonna be a cutscene.
Simulation activated. Weapon energy system diagnostic test.
Wait, what?
online. Stage 1. Destroy targets to charge up weapon energy and activate.
Why are you doing this again? Oh, I see. Because I'm not used to the controls, I accidentally activated it again.
Level 1 ready. Diagnostic stage complete. Stage 2. Charge the missile barrage to level 2 to destroy up to 4 targets at once.
Yeah, so, okay. So, my contingency plans this time around, because I hate being a victim. Okay? Like I told you guys, I lost 50 grand and went into financial debt in 2014, and I've been in financial debt since 2014 because of, like, what happened with Foxhill and Ferrella Digital. So, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, okay, there's a possibility this could happen again. So, over the past 10 years, I've been making contacts with different press agencies, as well as sometimes I'm that little voice that feeds information about YouTube to publications. So I've been developing a reputation offline, because I don't trust anybody. I don't even trust YouTube, because I know YouTube does a lot of shady stuff. But anyway, so I called in favors, and I had a whole thing that was going to roll out. I was going to get a lot of exposure, because I was going to be on podcasts that had several thousand people, and I was going to be allowed 15 minutes to talk. 15 minutes to explain the situation, and to get awareness out, and also to, you know, I can't reach all the content creators that are impacted. Like, I'm not a channel manager, so I don't have access to a list of every single channel that's in there. The only channels that I know that are associated with Nagato is based on their website and their parent page website. And there are some big YouTubers there. Some of them have like a few million subscribers or whatever. And I did try to reach out to their people, but they said they weren't going to get back to me on the weekend. But I did email them, so I let a couple of content creators' staff know what's going on. One person, which I'm not going to throw under the bus because he's a much bigger content creator than me, but basically, he said he's just going to take the hit. If he's out 2 months of income from YouTube revenue, he can make that back on merchandise, he can make that back on other things, so he doesn't care. He doesn't care if it impacts other people either. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, there are YouTubers like that. You know, they can take the hit, and it's not a big problem for them. Hopefully that's the right button. There we go.
Batman, I'm seeing a transport deploying more tanks at Panessa Studios. I've warned GCPD to pull their men off the streets.
I'm heading there now.
But when you've been a content creator for 18 years, I can tell you that behind the scenes of YouTube is not all wine and roses. There's a lot of people that are pretty jerky.
I want everyone off the streets and back to GCPD.
Sucks, but that's reality. So that content creator's response is not uncommon, unfortunately. It's just how it is. It's kind of funny that a lot of content creators behave just the same way a lot of us old school guys did, you know, in like 2008, 2009. Like, we still employ the same type of, like, collabs and all this other stuff that people used to do back in the day. But the jerky attitude and not caring about other people other than just yourself is totally on brand for YouTubers. Most YouTubers, it's like, how can I benefit from this? And, you know, if this is going to impact me negatively, or if, like, I'm going to gain anything from this. So, the reason why a lot of people aren't going to tweet or do anything with my video that comes out on Wednesday is, for one, YouTube probably told them to shut up. And two, they don't want to be associated with any types of problems with YouTube, because I could probably have my own one channel terminated. Most likely. Because I'm going to be going over a lot of policies that YouTube promised that is easily researchable for you guys that they still haven't done. For one, in 2022, YouTube was supposed to dissolve all YouTube channel MCNs. Multi-channel networks were supposed to be terminated in 2022 because of instances, okay, where rogue networks were stealing money. So what happened to me in 2014 has actually happened to other channels that YouTube hasn't released to the public. So there's been several instances where YouTube's had rogue employees steal content creators' money and told them never to report it. So the reason why I was able to get the press to even talk to me over the weekend and over the past 48 hours is because this is a very big scandal. I reached out to Keemstar's office, but he didn't give me the time of day, so, or rather his staff did. So it's not a low-cal stuff, so he's not going to pay attention to it. I did email Asmongold's PR rep to see if he would do something, because sometimes he listens to small channels, and I'm a small channel. But right now, I'm the only whistleblower about this. There's no one else that I know of. And I will be completely frank with you. There are 50 content creators that are aware of the situation, and they've said nothing. Because either they don't care, or they're told to be quiet.
Jim, tell your men they can resume their patrols. The tanks have been dealt with.
Thank God. Let's hope they were the last.
Don't count on it. I need the isolation chamber prepped at the GCPD lockup. I'm bringing in Ivy.
Keem was never going to talk to me? Yeah, I know. Hey, I told you, I wrote 50 emails. I made a very generalized email. I got a couple people to bite back and, you know, call me on my phone and stuff and follow through. You know, a big majority of them didn't. You could say, well, maybe it's because it's the weekend, but I started writing those emails on Thursday, so most content creators saw it on Friday. It is what it is. I'm kind of disappointed that I don't get to do the podcast, but at the same time, I'm still going to release my video. It's going to have more details, and, you know, the only problem is I'm not a big content creator, so probably going to fall on deaf ears. But I am telling you this, regardless of what happens with the video, at 11:59 Tuesday night, which will be like around 9 in the morning in Stockholm, Sweden, if I am not paid, as soon as it hits midnight, I'm pausing my stream and I'm calling the police in Sweden. And I'm reporting the company for fraud. After that, it's up to the police to either take the case or whatever, because that's the extent of what I can do. I can't do any more.
Any progress with the fear toxin analysis?
It's gonna take a little while longer. Drop by the clock tower when you're ready, and I'll show you what I've got so far.
Who taught you to drive?
Scarecrow's gonna break you, Batman.
Honestly, why do you even bother with these meat sacks?
Civil unrest? There's a war on the streets. We don't have the manpower or the equipment.
Well, look who it is.
Ivy. Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
Is the isolation chamber ready?
Glad you're putting it to good use.
Yeah, correct. PewDiePie's in Japan.
Good. Another cell.
PewDiePie is partnered directly with YouTube. He's in no MCN. There's no MCN that Felix is a part of, to my knowledge.
You feel safer now that I'm all
Asmongold is partnered directly through YouTube. He has no MCN. I know that for a fact. And YouTube's been pestering Asmon to actually run ads on his videos, which he refuses to. So he's just... What is he getting? He's getting in-video ads or whatever is how he's making so much money. I don't know. If he ran video ads, like actually, you know, hit the button to run an ad, he'd make a lot more money. He refuses to, though. Which drives YouTube nuts.
You can't lock me in here like some human. Locking me up is a sign of desperation, Batman. I can see it in your eyes. You're afraid. You know these walls won't hold me for long. Still, if it makes you feel safer, I'll indulge the fantasy. For now.
It is going on 7 in the morning in Stockholm, Sweden. Monday, June 23rd, 6 a.m. in Sweden right now.
Why do you waste your time helping these pathetic creatures? So primitive compared to plant consciousness.
Okay, gonna run through this. I've heard these excuses before, sir. Screw you. Damn bureaucrats. We're on our own.
We can handle it, Jim. What's the latest?
We've got incidents cropping up all over the city. Cash, give us a rundown.
All right, let's see. First up, we've lost contact with the fire crew from Station 17. We've got their last known coordinates, but they're not going to survive out there on their own for long. Then there's this. It's a strange one. Body turned up. We didn't have long to look before the evacuation, but the forensics boys seemed freaked out. Real nasty. Also, we've had several sightings of the Riddler creeping around the train yard. Knowing that guy, he's got to be up to no good.
Look, I know you're busy, but anything you can do to help is going to save lives.
Don't worry, Jim. I have someone working a lead on Scarecrow. I'll see what I can do.
Good to hear. I've got a skeleton crew searching Gotham South and West. I'm gonna join him when I'm done here.
Bye, Jim. I just walked off. Batman's having an ADD moment. Evidence room. No, it's not that the network made off with some of my money. All of May's earnings. Every single channel. My bank accounts are negative. As are other YouTubers. We were supposed to be paid on the 16th of June. It is now the 23rd of June. And according to my bank account, no check from them. And my bank is negative. Suppose we could do Riddler.
I'm going to the train yard. Nigma's planning something. He always is.
So all of May's earnings and all of June's earnings will also be stolen. Probably. Although, here's the difference. The reason why Pharrella Digital and Foxittle were able to steal $4 million is because YouTubers were being spoken to by their network. We were getting emails from them, but the emails didn't start until a week after. So nobody could reach people at Foxittle and Pharrella Digital for 1 week. The same thing is happening at Nagato right now. The last anybody has seen any of the employees, the 3 people that work there, was on June 15th in Sweden. So it would have been the 16th, you know, for us, or whatever. Or it would have been the 14th, or I don't know. Doesn't matter. So the last time anybody saw those people was on the 15th. I haven't been paid in 8 days. So we're going on almost a week since, you know, anybody's seen them. If they start emailing people now, that means they're not there and they're using a burner phone. So what they'll try to do is they'll try to tell people, oh, we're going to pay you soon. You know, just keep working for us, because the longer your channel is connected to them, they're stealing your money. So if you are a part of Nagato, you need to immediately hit that disconnect button on your dashboard. You have to hit that switch. You have to kill your partnership with them. And then YouTube will place you in another MCN, or you could try to go through YouTube yourself, but they only work with channels that have 1 million subs and up. So you're going to get stuck into an MCN even if you don't want to. Unfortunately. Same thing for me. I'm under 1 million subs, so I'm going to get stuck somewhere. It's just what it is.
Up close before.
But this company, you watch, in a week, they're going to try to start doing stuff. So what I'm doing differently now is I'm hunting them now. Because when somebody flees with money, after it's been a couple months, it's really hard to find them. So the best way to track down thieves is you have to start as soon as possible. You have to follow their trail. If you do not, and this is my police family background, if you wait a few months, you'll never see these people again. You'll never find them. They'll disappear somewhere on some Bermuda island somewhere. They'll be gone.
Actually, Lucius, she's a little sluggish.
Time is of the essence.
Feeling you'd say something like that? Give me a few moments, and I'll bring the afterburner function online.
Thanks, Lucius. It was good of you to stay behind.
You want to thank me, Mr. Wayne? Just try not to.
So this time, I'm going all Vigilante on their asses. Because I'm not letting it happen again.
Remnants of Gotham, I have messages for you all. To the vandals who stayed behind to pick the still warm flesh from Gotham's bones. Have you...
Why, hello there, Detective. Yes, it's me, your most feared nemesis, the Riddler. Congratulations are in order, for you have arrived early for this, the next generation of my riddles. I'm afraid the full particulars of my plan will have to remain unannounced for the time being, but I see no harm in rewarding the harmless little glimmer of initiative you have shown with a sneak peek, a preview, if you will, of the kind of conundrum I have in store.
Well, yeah, I've been financially ruined since 2014. I can't survive having 2 months of no pay. We'll go bankrupt. We'll have to declare bankruptcy.
Well then, Detective, it begins. You are staring, with stupefied incomprehension, at a mechanism I have calibrated to respond to an extremely precise radar pulse. In a moment, I will give you the decrypted code, Dark Knight. Oh, but first, I think we should run through the ground rules for tonight's festivities. Rule the first. You will address me at all times as Riddler, the Riddler, or Mr. Nigma, sir. Otherwise, Detective, I expect your patented brand of churlish silence. Rule the second. All gauntlets, cowl-integrated microphones, and other communications devices, bat-themed or otherwise, are to be switched off prior to the start of the test. Should you be caught using any of these, you will be expelled from the course. Rule the third. The use of purpose-built riddle-solving equipment is strictly prohibited. I am familiar with the contents of your utility belt, Detective, and I will be evaluating any sudden additions over the course of this evening most suspiciously. Rule the fourth. In the event of fire or flood, I will be on hand to guide you. What? How did you solve tonight's very first riddle? Well done. Well done. Welcome to my racetrack, Detective. You must complete 3 circuits of this gauntlet, finishing each before the time limit expires. Come now, Detective. Let's put that grotesque ego-mobile to the test.
A cuss word because it's been a week? I just told you, though. Sorry for cussing, but I'm under a tremendous amount of stress. I might not have a place to live in August because I'm going to have so much stolen from me. And YouTube's response is they're not going to do anything, so I'm the one that has to hunt these people. So I basically, I wrote a email to them once again, because I like to give people a fair warning. I said, you have until Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. to pay me. I wrote this to the network. I said, if you do not pay me, and it is past 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday night, then you will be feeling police officers up your butt. Because I'm going to get the Swedish police officers involved and accuse them of extortion, fraud, and corporate espionage.
Can those flickering, faltering synapses keep up with my automatically
Because that's what this is. If they're running, they're going to have a lot of people chasing them this time around. Even if this is a copycat crime from 2014, these guys are going to have a much harder time disappearing. And then when I see them in court, I'm beating the shit out of them. Excuse me.
Let's work that undeveloped brain of yours. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more!
So if they're running, they better run real far.
Go left.
Because I'm not putting up with this again.
Oh, detective, what's that I hear? Is it time's winged chariot hurrying near? You're close, detective. Don't fumble now. Don't fumble now. Come now, detective. Time waits for no man. And I wait for no Batman. Congratulations, detective. You have defeated me. Seriously, Dark Knight, I'm stunned, humiliated, utterly bested. Time I gave up, I think. Why don't you head on your way?
Yeah, this is the second time it's happened. Yep. Wait, why is it doing it again?
Simulation activated. Aborted.
I'm wound very tight. Apologies again for swearing. Amber's not here anymore. She's not really on the channel anymore, so...
Did you really believe that a challenge designed by me, the Riddler, would be quite so easy? Oh, Dark Knight. You sweet, naive sentinel. Of course it wouldn't. Still, thanks to your unrelenting desire to showboat, I now have several hundred terabytes worth of performance data relating to that latest model of rocket-powered hearse you're driving. Naturally, I shall be using this data to calibrate further challenges and trials. I'll see you soon, Detective. There's a lot more to come.
Yep, I'm going to be in trouble with the IRS too, because you guys know that they've been siphoning our income for, like, what, 11 years? Something like that? So if the IRS doesn't get its $690 every month, I'm going to be in big trouble. And I barely have, I think I have $700 in my Patreon. So that money, they're probably going to take to the IRS or something, yeah. So, because those first criminals stole all that money and the accountant was, you know, going over the books and he did the YouTube, what he did, which he was an idiot, he was an old man.
I think Scarecrow had what it takes to pull this off.
And YouTube was, you know, the YouTube career was relatively new.
Oh God, he's crushing the car!
So the accountant claimed 50 grand that we never put into our bank account. And he put on the taxes, and so that year, when we did our taxes, the IRS came after us for fraud. Because they're like, what happened to the missing $55,000? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is what our earnings were. And they said, well, your accountant said this. And because the accountant screwed up, and because the IRS screwed up, then I ended up having to pay, originally, what was it, $1,700 a month? I went to court in 2016 and did what's known as a offer and compromise. I had to hire a lawyer with the rest of my savings, which was $10,000, and we got them to lower the payments from whatever it was, something thousand, to $690. So they've been taking $690 from every paycheck for a very long time. So I would have savings. I would have a life if it wasn't for the crooked IRS. And if the IRS makes a mistake, you're liable. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, if they screw up the books, you're screwed. So I've been a victim of the IRS for a very long time behind the scenes, and I still manage to keep my cool. I don't have a cool feature anymore. There is no chill K-Wing anymore. If YouTube's not going to go after these people, I'm going to manhunt them myself. If they're not going to call the police and get the police in Sweden involved, I'll do it. Because I'm not letting this happen again. I'm not going to roll over and become a victim again. Not happening. There's too much at stake.
Dan's planning something big. Why else would he team up with Penguin?
Never again. And I know why. You want to know why YouTube doesn't want to get the police involved in the United States and Sweden? Because they're doing shady stuff. They don't want to be investigated, so they'll throw 300 people under the bus. 300 content creators under the bus and just be like, oh, we'll get you in another network, you just won't be paid for 2 months. It'll be fine. They'd rather do that than actually do what's right, which is actually contact the authorities and get these people that are probably running right now. They've been on the run. I guarantee you when their business hours open at 9 o'clock in Sweden, nobody, YouTube, myself, anybody is going to hear from Nagato. They're gone. They've had a week's head start. I know for a fact. I can feel it in the pit of my stomach. They are gone. So the only thing left to do, which YouTube refuses to do, and I have the email to prove it, which I'm going to put in my video on Wednesday. I have their email from their security department where they're refusing to take action against them because this is an MCN and content creator thing. Even though I think they have a responsibility to do so, they refuse it. So it's going to fall down to me. And in reality, it's supposed to be YouTube's job. But like I said, YouTube doesn't want to be investigated. YouTube is still licking its wounds from getting sued by the Federal Trade Commission. Everybody remember that lawsuit? I do. So I'm not just going to go quietly. I'm not going to shut up for 2 months. I'm going to make as much noise as possible. I'll go on whatever podcast, make whatever videos, I'm going to do whatever I want. And behind the scenes, I'm going to be cooperating with law enforcement in Sweden. I'm going to raise hell. You have no idea. You do not want me as an enemy. You take my money from me, you better run to the farthest ends of the earth. And even then, I'm coming for you. You better pray to whatever God you believe in, because I'm gonna mess you up. There is no diplomacy, there is no silence, there's vengeance. Only vengeance! Excuse me.
Riddler's got something real special planned.
Because I have my wife's life, I have my life. There are a lot of people that are at stake. And to have some billion-dollar corporation tell us, just take the hit. Never again. I was financially stable when it happened the first time in 2014. I'm not financially stable. My home is at stake, my health insurance. I have to get an MRI in July because they're looking for cancer. So I have to, you know, I don't have a choice.
You think he's had enough?
So I'm not screwing around.
You know, I got a lot of respect. Help me!
Batman. God, it's really you.
What happened here?
Our truck was attacked. The rioters dragged us out one by one. We were separated, taken away. Please, they're gonna kill us.
I'll save your crew. Wait here. I'll get a GCPD officer to pick you up.
Can we go back to the story now? Could I start a GoFundMe? No one will support that. And let me just clarify, they don't know if I have cancer, but there's problems with my neuropathy, so they want to rule it out. So they want to get the MRI done as quickly as possible. When you're scheduled for an MRI, they tell you all the things that they're looking for. They're looking for, there's a problem with the neuropathy in my legs is getting worse, so they want to rule out that it's not caused by a tumor in my head or something. Because like 10 years ago when I took an x-ray or whatever, they noticed something that they want to double check. It's probably left over from the car accident when I hit my head. So from 20 years ago, but they just, you know, doctors just want to double check. Amber wants me to get it too, but, you know, if I don't have any money, how can I do the MRI? If I lose my health insurance, how am I going to do it? Can't. What controller am I using? The PS3.
You heard about Riddler? He's gone crazy. Crazier than usual, anyway.
One thing you'll learn about me, I don't like being backed into a corner. You're not going to like me if you back me into a corner. I'm backed into a corner right now, so I am livid. I go down, I'm taking people with me. It's not going to be a cordial goodbye. I'm going to try to ruin as many people as possible before I go. The era of nice Kwing is long gone.
This is more like it. Gotham went to sleep after Joker died.
Long gone. Thought I heard that stupid opera music. They expect me to do one more of those stupid little side missions?
Some freaks chaining up dead bodies. Sounds pretty nasty. Let's go see.
How many side missions they expect you to do before you can continue the story? I know he's around here somewhere.
Batman's got a tank. Let's cheat.
That's not it.
Two-Face ain't forgetting what the Bat did to him in the courthouse. He wants payback.
No, I don't think it's over
Get
here.
here to see it.
So yeah, that's my plan. You know, we're gonna get the authorities involved this time. I'm gonna talk to as many publications as possible. Last time it was way too late. It's only been a week, so a lot of you know that my family's in law enforcement, so as long as you act as quickly as possible, there's a chance. Not that you can recover the money, but that you can catch the slime balls. Because they probably either spent the money or it's locked up in a security deposit or something. Probably in some Swiss bank account.
Penguin and Two-Face working together? That's weird. I don't like it.
But if good men do nothing, evil will continue to flourish. So it is our job to make sure that doesn't happen. Because YouTube is going to be negligent. They're not going to do anything. Let's say I go viral and my video gets 1 million views. They're still not going to do anything. That's just how they are. And I know it's not. It's going to get a few thousand views. Maybe I'll be able to reach some of the people that are in the Nagato network to get them out, but that's about it. I don't think a lot's really going to happen because of it. The most important thing is to get the police involved over in Sweden. That's the most important thing. I can't really call the FBI because it's not really... It's a foreign crime. It's not a domestic. Can't really get Interpol or the FBI involved. You'd have to report the crime to the country of origin where the business is, and the country of origin where the business is over in Sweden. Yeah, I don't know where this idiot is. What is this? Oh, the clock tower. Good. We're back on story. Good. I only need to do one side mission though. So yeah, I'm kind of wound up right now, so just tread carefully.
Identity confirmed.
They're not an easy organization to get a hold of, so no. Also, you don't want to get involved with them. I've been involved with the FBI before. You don't want to get the other guys involved. FBI scary enough.
Do I come in the Batcave, start messing with all your stuff?
You've managed to reduce the compound to its core elements.
But there's nothing in there that we can trace.
What if we've been looking at this the wrong way? Instead of searching for the toxin, what if we focus on the manufacturing process?
Why didn't I see this? The reaction emits a unique radiation spike.
Run a scan of the city for this energy signature. It will show where Scarecrow is creating his fear toxin.
It'll take a few hours to bring the satellites into position.
We don't have enough time. I'll repurpose the antenna at the movie studios.
Bruce, I spoke to Dad. I hate lying to him. He'd kill me if he knew I was still in the city. He still blames himself for this.
We'll stop Scarecrow.
Alright, let's go. What's wrong with my
Jim,
cape?
we've got a way to find out where Crane's working from.
Thank God. What can I do?
Get your men ready. Soon as we've got a location, I'll let you know.
All right.
Why did the pads get so big for a second? That was weird.
The bat's been in control for too long. It's about time we turn the tables on that freak.
I hate tutorial stuff. It's so annoying. Oops.
We'll kill you, freak!
PS3 controller works pretty good. I had a panic attack live on the air. What was it? Was it Friday night, guys? During the Zelda stream? I got an email from YouTube basically saying that they weren't going to do anything. Like, the legal department got back to me. When was that email? That email was on... YouTube's department was in a thread with other creators and support. Oh, Amber has an interview opportunity. That's good. That's discussions with Clownfish. Where is it? Our payment wasn't received. Even here, 3 days ago, I told YouTube. Go away, I'm busy. June 20th, 7:45 p.m. 3 days ago, I was speaking with YouTube and I said, I think you guys should contact the Swedish police and investigate this. This is their info, this is their address, and this is the employee that works there. I gave them the name, I gave them the address, and I gave them the place of residence where the guy lives. Said the owner of the place could be dead, or they could be trying to run away with the money. In instances like this, time is crucial. Also, if the person is suffering a medical-related thing, we might not be too late to get them help. Getting Sweden law enforcement involved should be your top priority at YouTube. This was 3 days ago. No response from YouTube about that. So that just shows you where YouTube's head is, right? I'd say so.
You know anything about that new guy? The one working with Scarecrow? Nothing much, except he looks like Batman. You kidding? Only thing he's missing is the cape.
I gave them a cordial email to Nagato 4 days ago saying, hello, support. You haven't paid our channel what you owe us for May 2025. What date will you be paying us? Best regards, Luke Kwings. So you can see I was being cordial. I start to get mad eventually, but in the beginning I was, you know, I was pretty cordial. But I start to definitely unravel over time, yeah. The more I keep talking to people. Here it is. So, Mr. Blank. I can't tell you my real name. We've gone over stuff, and you are part of an MCN, which is a multi-channel network. All payments are responsible between Nagato and you, Kwings Let's Plays. YouTube will not cover any losses or damages while you are working with this agency. We are not responsible for any payments that you receive or do not receive. That is YouTube's legal department. So when they gave me that email on Friday night, I was live, and I had a full-blown panic attack because my mind raced like crazy. I fell apart on the air.
Riddler, tell me what you know. All right, I'll talk. Just don't hurt me.
Good.
Give up the hunt.
So I didn't handle it well. This is 3 days later, so I have my plan. All I have is my plan. I have nothing else. And my plan started to fall apart because my podcast appearances were taken away from me. Both the guys who offered me to be on their podcast don't want me anymore. They gave me bull reasons. They know the urgency involved with this, they just don't feel like it's news. It's not enough of a grift for them. So they're going to talk about the Fantastic Four movie and whatever else. It's the world we live in. So even though there's an actual real scandal going on, like something that could potentially be very, very bad, they're not going to do anything about it, and they're not going to talk about it. So basically they're going to wait until probably the 30th. Watch, all these people start talking about it on the 30th. But the stuff that's happening now in real time, no one's going to pay attention to it.
The generator's damaged. I need to bypass it and power the antenna directly.
Hello again, Mr. Wayne. How can I help you this time?
Is the power winch ready for deployment?
It's 100% functional, though no guarantees if you're intending to pull that car of yours up the side of a building.
You read my mind.
It's in the job description, Mr. Wayne. Batwing's on its way.
One of the podcasts is Side Scrollers. Although Side Scrollers was nice to me. But they still declined. They invited me first. And then they rescinded it. But they were polite about it. I guess. But Craig and I have never really gotten along. Like, going all the way back to the game trailer and Screw Attack days, so... I've tried to be nice to him, but I still carry a grudge for stuff that he did way back in the day. Especially what he did to my friend Guru Larry. So he and I still have, I wouldn't say bad blood, but we're not drinking buddies. I emailed Geeks and Gamers and Neurotic. I didn't hear back from them. Believe me, I contacted everybody I could that I thought would be interested in running this story. For rage bait or for whatever. Because they hate YouTube, but nope. Nothing. 8 days later, nobody's talking about this on YouTube. Nobody's talking about it on Twitter. It's exactly how YouTube wants it. I'm not friends with Pat the Nest Punk, or Nest Punk, whatever his name is. I've met him at Too Many Games, a convention in Pennsylvania, but I don't know him. Guru Larry and I have been friends for 20 years. Guru Larry and I were like, we've been... I'd say we have a casual friendship. Like, we talk every once in a while. Larry has a background in game journalism just like I do, so he and I have been like good friends for a very long time. Larry is amazing. The problem is Larry and my schedule and Larry's schedule is completely different. So when I'm sleeping, Larry's awake. So it's very hard for us to get together and chat like the old days, because when our friendship first started, we worked around the same time. I've been a night owl for over 10 years. So Larry and I don't talk much. Different schedules. We're still friends and stuff. He's probably one of my closest YouTube friends ever. I consider Larry a dear friend. He's a great guy.
I can't move it using the Batmobile, but maybe it can hold the car's weight.
But our schedules are so different that, you know, it's hard to stay in contact with people. Because I work nights, I don't really have a lot of, like, you know, friends. It is what it is. But with my illness, being up during the daytime is hard for me because, you know, I'm all alone, my mind wanders, so I drug myself during the day. I'm not awake. I take my medicine, I take a strong dose of it, and I'm out for like 8 hours or something until it wears off and I wake up. I can't be up during the day because all the times I was rushed to the hospital took place during the day. I just don't like the day. Call me a vampire, call me whatever you want, but I don't do well during the days. I'm very anxious during the day. Don't like it. It's an irrational fear, but people with a panic disorder have irrational fear. That's how they have a panic disorder. That's why it's a disorder. It's an irrational fear. And the only reason I'm so tense and anxious right now is because I have very important bills coming out that I can't pay. And a lot of those companies are going to be cool with it, but the IRS isn't. IRS is a monster. You have no idea how evil those people are. They don't care about anything. Just their money.
Oracle, I've restored power to the radio antenna.
Great. I'm connecting now. I was just talking to Robin. I think you should too.
Bruce, you need me out there. We can find Scarecrow faster together.
What you're working on is more important, Tim.
Can wait one night. Let me help.
I've got this under control.
Okay. Listen, try checking in once in a while. We're partners, remember?
He just wants to help, you know.
Is the antenna ready?
Yeah, but we're going to need a microwave tower to triangulate Scarecrow's location. There's one at Falcone Shipping in the Cauldron. I've marked it on your map.
Thanks, Oracle.
I don't think Larry knows Neurotic. I was talking about Pat the Nest Punk. I wasn't aware that Pat and Larry didn't get along, but like I said, I don't talk to Larry. Larry and I talk every once in a while, like every 3 months. It's just, you know, kind of like, hello, you, and, you know, I respond, hi, sir, and we talk a little bit through text. We used to Skype all the time. He has my phone number, but making an international call is
The Batmobile's
not good.
powering the antenna. I can't use it right now.
Alright, so where are we going? Man, I can't go over how fast this is now.
Look at your city. Abandoned in terror by those that fled. Torn apart by those who had nowhere to go.
I've never actually met Neurotic either. Like, I was invited to join, like, that, like, circle when Gamergate started. And I said no. And they were like, why? I said, for one, I don't do this all the time. The only times I talk about this is when it, like, basically comes into my orbit. And the only reason I ever fought the woke people is because they tried to assassinate me. I was swatted twice. So I became an enemy of all things woke when they tried to kill me.
Scarecrow's men are guarding
So at
the
that
antenna.
point, I wanted them
I need to
gone.
evaluate the threat
Then I
and
joined the
plan my
fight,
attack.
but I still didn't, like, team up with anybody. It was my own personal war and vendetta against those freaks.
The Batmobile's powering
But they brought the war to me.
use it right now.
I was minding my own business. They tried to kill me playing Harry Potter.
5 soldiers.
That's when I got
all
involved.
armed. If I alert them, they'll kill the hostage. I need
I
to
just
reach a
used to
vantage
rant on
point to
Twitter
draw them
about, like,
outside.
comic books, and they made it personal, so I definitely got involved. As soon as it happened, I went to the police. I made a report of about 150 suspects. I have a lot of high-profile people that I still follow under assumed identities on Twitter. I'm in their circles in their Discord, being people that aren't real, to keep tabs on them to see if one of them was involved with the swatting. And I've been doing it for years. Like I said, I don't trust people. Also, I don't like it when criminals get away with stuff. So, I might be a little
If I can
crazy,
separate
but
them, they'll be
just
easier
crazy
to take
about
down.
justice. Real justice, not social justice. If a crime's committed, you have to take them out. And swatting is a no-no.
Someone's out there. You two, go take a look. The door stays locked. I'm taking no chances. Got it, boss. Scarecrow won't want to hear any excuses if we fail.
Oh yeah. I was playing Hogwarts Legacy and I got swatted. That was years ago. It was right after my stream. Yep. I got very lucky because the dude, one of the officers, went to my church. And recognized me right away.
The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use it right now.
Well, I mean, it just shows you how evil these people are. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, before that happened, like, I knew Yellow Flash at one point, before he did the whole, like, hardcore grift or whatever. Like, I knew him when he was just starting out, because he was a comic book channel. So I got to know him, and he told me he was going to start doing, like, all these podcasts and stuff like that, and he invited me, and I said no. I said, I don't like talking about politics. I said, I don't mind talking about comic books and my stance on, you know, them changing established characters and stuff like that. I hate that, but I don't want to talk about movies. I don't want to talk about games. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff.
Lucius, I've got a hostage situation. 3 gunmen. I need to take them all out before they can react. Is it ready?
Flexible plates over an MR fluid armor layer. You'll move faster, hit harder, and look scarier while doing so.
Send it, Lucius. Now.
Already airborne, Mr. Wayne.
So I was basically neutral until people tried to kill me. And then there was no neutral anymore. So I played a hand in actually killing woke stuff in gaming. I did a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Talked to a lot of developers, did a ton of stuff. Because I wanted the feminist frequency stuff out. Because that's where it all started, was feminist frequency. Then from feminist frequency came DEI, came all that stuff. So there was a lot of journalists behind the scenes that were basically sick of stuff, and we were doing things. Little by little, we took the game industry back. I told them they didn't want to make an enemy of me. I have a long list of contacts that people have no idea. I've been around for 18 years. I was a journalist way long ago. I know a lot of people. But the record shows that I was neutral. I was not making any videos. I was not really doing anything too bad until after 2022, or whenever the Hogwarts Legacy game came out. After that, I went to war. But I was neutral before. Just occasional tweets, rants on Twitter. That was about it. But I did most of my work behind the scenes.
Well, Mr. Wayne, let me walk you through it. The outer and inner layers of the bodysuit are made of a titanium-dipped tri-weave. It's between those layers where things get interesting. Wayne Tech MR fluid hardens in response to impact. With this kind of shock absorption, you'll be able to put more force into your counterattacks. The liquid armor is more flexible than the fibers you're accustomed to as well. You can use that increased maneuverability to take out multiple foes in quick succession. The suit's compatible with the Batmobile's electromagnetic eject mechanism too. You'll fly out of that thing like a bullet from a railgun. Speaking of which, the new grapnel launcher will pull you skyward just as fast. Don't worry, Mr. Wayne. That suit can take the G's.
Yep. According to my intel, most of my haters reside in California. Out of the 150 suspects that are on the police list that I gave to the officer on duty, we've determined that at least, I'd say, more than 100 people are from California. Unless they're using some type of, like, you know, what do they call it? Mask VPN type thing. If they're actually hiding where they're from.
The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use it right now.
So I've been hunting the
gunmen,
people that I've
1
suspected for
hostage.
quite a while.
Time to put this
I
suit
think the
to
police
test.
report's been around for like 3 years now, something like that, almost 4. Nothing's happened though.
The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use it right now.
They try to repeat, or somebody tried to do a repeat swatting, but it failed because, like, after the first swatting, I went to every precinct that's within 40 miles of me, and I told them who I was, what I did for a living, and pretty much made reports with various precincts. So when the second swatting happened during the whole Matt Walsh "what is a woman" thing, all I did was retweet something. And, like, I think it was like 2 weeks later, or maybe a month later, there was all these police officers at my door. But none of them had their weapons drawn. They were just knocking on my door. It was very cordial. And, you know, it was a precinct that I missed. But they were a very chill group of guys, so...
The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use it right now.
Move to what? I can't read that. Move close to a group. 3 enemies detected for fear takedown. Why aren't you letting me inside?
There's 3 of us. We're all armed.
There we go.
The new suit is faster and more mobile. The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use
My
it
advice,
right
though, is if you're a content creator and you're worried about ever getting swatted, go to the police, make a report, tell them what you do for a living. That way, if you get doxxed or something bad happens, you know, you're not going to get shot by a cop.
Man, they said you were quick, but I never
Only
saw
takes a
anyone
few
take
minutes
down
to
3
actually
armed
take
guys
a
like that.
statement with a police officer.
Unbelievable.
They can come right to your
You're
house.
safe now. I'll send someone to pick you up.
Thank you. Tell me you're gonna find Scarecrow. That son of a bitch needs to be stopped.
Man, that knuckle injury still hasn't healed yet, guys. That thing that happened on the F-Zero stream, it still hasn't healed. I probably did need stitches. Can I go now? What are you doing? Open the door.
The Batmobile's powering the antenna. I can't use it right
Okay,
now.
there we go.
Oracle, I've attached the uplink to the microwave tower.
Perfect. I made an anonymous call to GCPD. They're gonna send someone to pick up the hostage.
Oh, I crushed Woke. It's dead.
Love the suit, by the way.
There's been 25 game developers that are now out of job. 4,000 people are fired in the game industry. It's over. The ideology is dead. They shouldn't have tried to kill me. Game press is coming back to how it was. Doesn't belong. We're going back to how gaming was back in the early 2000s. No more fascist ideologies.
To identify the
No more
micro
killer
and radio wave
psychopaths.
frequencies across Gotham. If I can find both frequencies at the same location,
They don't
I'll know
belong.
where
Not in the
Scarecrow is
game industry.
manufacturing his toxin.
If they don't want to cooperate, they don't want to work with people, and they want to control and they want to change everything, screw them. Never again. And you look, out of the 23 game developers that have closed down since December of 2024, most of them had very dubious people working for them. Out of the 4,000 people that lost their job in the game industry this year, a lot of them were bad people. And a lot of them were tourists. They weren't even gamers. So you can see what's going on from 2026 to 2027. Gaming's going back to how it was in 2015, 2008, whatever. I'll say this again. I'll say the same thing I said in 2014. Gaming is allowed to have anybody who wants to be in it, but no group is allowed to control the other. The problem with what woke gaming was is they wanted control. They wanted to remove everything. They wanted to name call people that didn't agree with them. They wanted to call people gooners for liking attractive characters. They wanted to push their ideology and their sexual fetishes and everything. And people got sick and tired of it. And we kicked them out. That's pretty much it. When you work with a large group of people in the game industry, you have to compromise. They were not willing to compromise. Only control. Only dictate. And at worst case scenario, violence. They don't belong. And I will never change my stance on that because they tried to kill me twice. So screw you. And if I find out that anybody in my fan base is related to those incidents, I'm going to make sure that you eat every meal through a straw. For the rest of your life. Every sip that you take, you're going to remember what I did to your face. And your throat. for the rest of your existence when I find the people responsible. There's no diplomacy, there's no being cordial. This is war. Should have left me alone. Eye for an eye. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's like talking to relics, though. They don't exist anymore. They have no power in the game industry. It's all over. There's no reason to bring them up anymore. That's why I didn't want to go on these podcasts, is because they want to talk about this stuff. I have a real thing that is impacting content creators all over the world. An actual crime, right? A literal crime is happening right now at YouTube that affects hundreds of people. And these grifters just want to talk about Fantastic Four and what my opinion is on them. Screw them. What does it have to do with anything?
Impossible.
Nothing. I don't care.
Crane must have bought them off. Or worse.
I'm in the area. I'll round
There are more important things to discuss right now.
Until I get there, Jim. I'm on my way.
The problem is a lot of these people, they can't tell what urgency is, and they can't tell when something is very important, and they don't care. I'm one of the last content creators that actually gives a damn. I really am. I'm old school. I don't want innocent people who are, like, over in the Philippines making their, like, fashion channel and not being able to get paid what they are owed. Are you serious? There's something called priorities. Okay? These people don't have priorities. They have agendas. They have grifts. That's why, once again, it falls to me to do everything myself. Again. You know the old saying, for every time there is a season? I don't like beating a dead corpse. The reason why I basically cease-fired after so many of us basically, you know, took back the game industry behind the scenes, not on YouTube, where game developers started to stand up to people. They weren't afraid of intimidation and all the tactics that woke developers were doing and consultant agencies. We slowly took the industry back one day at a time. And the biggest reason that a lot of this ended last year anyway is because the profits were bad. And a lot of companies took notice, as well as you have to remember, there are big shareholders that keep these game companies running, and they weren't happy. So the best way to get rid of the riffraff was to go to the shareholders. We wrote letters to the shareholders. Thousands of us. People who were picked on as game journalists for being normal, all of us behind the scenes were doing whatever we could because they needed to go. All the noise that people were making on YouTube didn't really do anything, to be honest. Except put money in the pocket of YouTubers. That's about it. Nope, the old-fashioned way is best. Because I will tell you this, companies cannot dismiss mail. They can not check email, and they can ignore phone calls, but it's very hard for them to ignore thousands of messages that are written by hand. People forget about the old ways of doing things, but journalists who are in their 40s and 30s, we remember. I'm very proud of what we accomplished. These people needed to go. It was going to get worse. I think all walks of life belong in the game industry, but they're not allowed to have control of the game industry. If they want to make their specialty games, there's a niche for that. They don't need to mess with mainstream games. Because all they're going to do is alienate their audience, and they're going to make their customers stop buying products. It's that simple. The fact that they couldn't see the forest before the trees, these people were just uncooperable. You couldn't work with them.
Any word from inside?
So you got to get rid of them.
Nothing. We think there's a skeleton crew left in there, but they're not responding and the facility's locked down.
If they're still alive, I'll find them. They should be able to tell us what Scarecrow's up to.
What the hell?
They're not supposed to exist, Detective.
Take cover.
They were supposed to be shut down in 2022. YouTube lied.
Time to die, old man.
In death, he has nothing left to fear. Keep him away from Ace Chemicals. Your vengeance will come.
This ends tonight.
Friend of yours?
Stay here, and I'll go find out.
Oh, I'm definitely pushed up against the wall. You can hear it in my voice. I'm very agitated. I don't swear on the air. I've been on YouTube for 18 years. Have you ever heard me swear once? No. I am in a very precarious and very edgy state right now.
Oracle, whoever this guy is, he's assembled an army. I need a name.
All right. We've got something here from a Black Ops team operating in Venezuela. They discovered a hidden training facility housing soldiers bearing the same insignia. There's nothing but speculation on their commander, though. The only thing sources agree on is his name. The Arkham Knight.
The Arkham Knight? Hack into their comms. I need to know what they're planning.
Anything else?
There's a crew of Ace Chemicals workers left on site. They'll be able to help us track down Scarecrow and locate his bomb. I need to find them.
Each worker will be carrying a unique ID chip.
If I can access their personnel records, I'll be able to track them.
There's a security terminal in a booth near your location. Try there.
You'll find out when people are backed up against the wall and there's actually a real threat. People will lash out, or people will try to take you with them. I'm at that state now. If I end up burning the company to the ground based on exposing all the things that YouTube's been doing for the past 20 years, I don't care anymore. I'm not just going to sit and take, you know, the beating that they're trying to dish out when there's literally people that have run away with my money. Money that I earned, and I'm not a healthy person anymore. I have to stream 11 hours a day to earn a living. And I'm not going to be paid for that for 2 months?
Armed and dangerous.
Yeah, no.
Before I can access
Not
the
happening.
terminal, I'll need to take them down.
Listen up! Scarecrow tells me the reaction is nearly complete. Final evacuation of this facility will begin in T-minus 30 minutes.
You have free speech as long as you don't interfere with my free speech. If you're referring to the game industry, you had people that were removing other people's choices. For the past 7 years in the game industry, only one type of thing was allowed in games. And they protested, and they made fun, and they made articles making fun of people liking attractive characters. Go look it up. And you can also
First, I
see
need to
that
investigate
in
the
early
compound.
2018 and 2019, nobody cared, but they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. It went past free speech and freedoms. It became a dictatorship. It became a fascist group. It became about control. They also removed people that they didn't want to work with. And they made smear campaigns for developers. They caused people to commit suicide who were game developers. They were very evil ideology. The gaming version of Hitler. That's what the woke people were. If you can't coexist with people and you don't want to coexist and you try to treat the other person as an enemy, when that person stands up to you, they had to be pushed really far before they popped. And gamers are usually a very kind group of people, but if you push us too much, then you get what you deserve. And the thing is, we tried to be cordial to them. We tried to be open and let them do whatever they want, but they just had to keep pushing. You can only push people so far in life. Because eventually they push back. And you can see with what the forecast is for the next 2 years, there was a hard push back, wasn't there? Compare gaming like the next 2 years to what it was the past 7 years. You can see the difference. You can even see the difference in the atmosphere. What did you guys notice big about this year's Game Awards? Did you notice anything interesting about a lot of the game companies that you follow? Where's the rainbow stuff? There's only a couple organizations that still are putting the rainbow stuff everywhere this month. Most corporations are rejecting it now. Why? Because it doesn't make them money. They never cared about you. It was all about trying to make more money and try to get more customers. If they really cared about you, they would keep it up all year. They don't.
It's safe to access.
Every single person that was at the game, whatever it was, the Summer Game Fest this year had no rainbow pins. There was no DEI commercials. There was no advertisements. All of it was just about gaming, and that's why it did well. It didn't alienate anybody. It doesn't need to alienate anybody. It was just a game show. That's it. Same thing with Sony. I didn't watch Xbox. I don't know, because I needed sleep. I had streamed for 12 hours a day before, so I didn't watch the Xbox show, so I can't tell you what Xbox did. But I saw Sony. I saw the PC game show. I saw a bunch of other stuff. I didn't see any of that nonsense that's been in gaming. It's all gone. It's true. Because most companies don't want to put up with it anymore.
I should investigate the
It's not to hurt
facility
anybody's
first.
feelings, it's the
Then I
truth.
can come back for the car.
It's just what it is. But if you go back and you look at the game industry, like E3 and stuff, they always told people to wear the rainbow pins. I was forced to wear it when I went to E3 in, what was it, 2012? They were like, people have to wear this pin. It's like, why? It's Pride Month. It's like, but I can't wear that. And I didn't wear it. But, you know, if you were going to be a presenter, you had to wear it. All this stuff is coming out now. This is all old news, though. There were people talking about it back in the day, but if anybody came forward and said the truth in the game industry, you'd lose your job. Just for saying, hey, this is what's really going on. You're not allowed to say it. You just have to smile and do what you're told. It's true. And that's not to say that that stuff shouldn't have a place in gaming. There's a niche for that. If you want to make games dating men, make games dating men. Go for it. Just don't make it mainstream.
First, I need to investigate.
Keep mainstream
the
games normal. I promise you, maybe you'll have more gamers interested if you stay in your lane and you stop bothering people, because people don't want to be bothered anymore. And people aren't afraid anymore. People were living in fear for a decade. And people did get fired over this stuff. People stood up at work or at a game studio and said, hey, I don't want to change the story, or I don't want to include this dialogue or whatever. They get fired. And then they'd get replaced with a consultant agency. It's all true. A lot of people know it's true. It's just a lot of people let it happen and kept their head down so they wouldn't lose their jobs. It's that simple. You really think that these were tolerant people that would let you, quote, have your freedoms at work? No. If it went against their agenda, they would get you fired. They'd make up lies about you. They would cause you to unalive yourself. All kinds of stuff. They weren't good people. The only reason the game industry is getting better is because we got rid of most of the weeds. And we're not done yet. There's still some agencies that need to pluck a lot of people. You got to get rid of the bad seeds that aren't gamers because they're just going to continue to pollute the water. It's not a nice thing to say, but it's a true thing to say. But people aren't afraid anymore.
Let's see if Oracle was right. Data connection active. Data decrypting. Someone needs to upgrade their security protocols.
Yeah, that's the context. I mean, the problem with the game industry was, you know how we were so beaten down, like, in the early 2000s and the 90s, and getting stuffed in lockers and having our Game Boys broken and, you know, being bullied for being a gamer? Gamers in general were very accepting of people, right? So when, like, these different groups came to the game industry, and even my environment, like, as a game journalist, we were very welcoming, because we're like, yeah, everybody deserves to get along and hang out and be gamers and whatever. As long as you like games, cool, let's go. You know, we can all work together, we can all get along. The problem is, a lot of these people, once they got into positions of power, you know, in different game companies and, you know, on the board of directors and all this other stuff, is they wanted the old ways out to make way for the new, what they were pushing in Hollywood and what they were pushing on TV. So the game industry became less of a coexistence and more of control. And if anybody said something different, heads rolled. And you can look on Twitter, there's so many fantastic game developers that are still out of the game industry because they got fired. Some of them have been speaking out for the past 2 years, but they get labeled ists and phobes whenever they say why they get fired. So there really is no safety for a lot of these people to come forward yet because they're still trying to make it as indie developers. But there were so many people, you know,
I should investigate the facility first. Then
that were impacted that they don't want you to know about. And that's why things had to change. But just know that a lot of people, especially in the game press, they gave these people more than an inch, more than a mile. They tried to work with them. Only their way was allowed. Look at the games that came out for the past decade. What do you notice about them? It's not a conspiracy, it's all true.
This is perfect. I can release the bat scanner and search for the workers.
How many games like Arkham Knight released from the span of 2016 through 2024? That just focused on storylines and characters without any agenda. How many games? And you can't use kiddie games, for example. How many mainstream M-rated games were like games from 2014 and 2015? That didn't have one thing in it that made you annoyed. Name one.
This is his last night. I'll make sure of it.
Any idea who the Arkham Knight is? Sounds like the two of you might have some history.
I've made a lot of enemies.
If you look at Batman Arkham Knight has subtlety stuff. Like, I believe there's a couple sequences when Batman's flying around the city. They have a little bit of gay humor in the game, but not a lot. It's subtle. It's not like a jackhammer. You're just kind of like, oh, okay, that's funny. Those two guards are together or whatever. You know, you don't really care about it. But all the games that came after Arkham Knight, they started to add more and more and more and more to the point where a lot of those games started to take over just the narrative. And it wasn't things that you could skip either. It wasn't like, Their argument before was, oh, this is just a side quest. Then they started to make it, like, in the game itself. Because their argument was before, oh, people can just, like, ignore this. You don't have to, it's in the game, but you don't have to go there. You don't have to play it. And then when they started making it as the main stuff in the game, they're like, oh, well, you can skip the cutscene. Well, no, you can't skip the cutscene. You don't have to watch it. You can close your eyes. So they kept making excuses. You really want those people in the industry? I don't think so. Because there's no compromise. Only control. There were people in the game industry that was actually willing to work with them and like, hey, you know, maybe we should not push this and just focus on that, but we should include this in the game anyway, but we shouldn't force players to have to watch that cutscene. Those people got fired. Why? Because they just spoke the truth. Because they were trying to have their customers' interests at heart. Whereas the other people didn't care about what the customers wanted.
It worked.
The other people were there to push the Hollywood agenda.
Showing up within the facility.
Let's hope they're still alive.
It's true. It took 7 years for the game industry to get its spine back. Almost 7 years, yeah. The first thing that changed was game journalism. Game journalism started to go down the tubes in 2015. I retired in 2014. I was a game journalist from 2004 until 2014. There are still people I work with or knew that are at places like IGN and GameStop or whatever, GameSpot. They've been there for decades, but they've never said anything on Twitter. They've never said anything on Facebook, and they believe the same things that I do. They just don't say anything. The term is called keeping your head down. It's not that they're bad people, and, you know, they didn't want to lose their job. Most of the guys I knew who I worked with, they had families. Wife, kids, grandkids. They're not going to do any grandstanding to lose their job. They're just going to let PR do whatever PR is going to do. You know? It was like a hostile takeover. Again, the only reason I started speaking out is because they attempted to kill me. Twice. If I was never swatted, I don't think I ever would have spoke out against the woke agenda. Except, like, just comic book related, what they did to Tim Drake, that was about it. I never said anything political up until that point because they made me an enemy.
First,
that
I need
simple.
to investigate the compound.
They would have left me alone, there wouldn't have been any problems. But I'll tell you one thing about me, I don't like to be burned. You come after me, you better be prepared for the consequences when I come after you. Because I believe in the mentality of an eye for an eye. You take my eye, I take yours. You break my leg, I cripple you. It's that simple. It's not a very Christian thing, but I've been beaten down in life too much to really care about, like, turn the other cheek. I like the mentality of bust the person's face. Yeah, keeping your head down in the industry. Like I said, these people had wife and kids. They don't have job security. Like, game journalism does not pay. You have to be an editor or you have to be an associate editor to make any type of, like, real money. Why do you think people always go for the editor jobs? Correspondent, reporter, they don't make that much. And they have to do a ton of work. And some of these guys weren't even in editor positions, I don't think. I don't remember. I don't talk to them very much. But I worked with them, and some of them were younger than me, too. But the thing is, what you have to remember about the game industry 20 years ago, everybody knew each other. You would meet each other at E3. You would eat lunch together, like outside of, I don't know, the main hall or whatever. There'd be these picnic tables. Everybody knew each other. The game industry was such a small outlet. It had no connections to Hollywood, no connections to animation and film studios and TV, none of that. Gaming was its own separate entity. So we all got along. And there was all kinds of people from all over the world that you got to know because there wasn't thousands of game journalists back then. There was maybe like a few hundred, you know? E3 was mostly open to the public and stuff back in the day. So those like tons of people that you see like from 2006, 2005 and stuff in like all those different areas, a lot of those are walk-ins, you know, people that paid to get tickets. Game journalism, there wasn't that many people. When they were doing stuff inside of one of those, what do you call it? One of those Nintendo things that we were at for the, I think it was the Wii. The amount of journalists that were in the room couldn't fill all the seats. And you could say, well, not that many people like Nintendo. No, that's not true. Everybody was always hyped for Nintendo trailers. There just wasn't that many journalists. And there was hardly any YouTubers there too back then. Now the thing has changed so much. But back then, we had a saying in the game industry, is the industry is too small to be petty. It was a saying we used to have. Regardless of your politics, regardless of your religion or whatever, the industry was too small to be petty. So you were nice and polite to everybody, regardless of, you know, what they personally believed or whatever, because it was a small industry, and chances are you might end up working with this person. You could end up getting transferred, or maybe you'll get another job at a publication they work for. You really want to work with someone you deem as an enemy? You know, most of us were grown-ups back then. The witch hunts didn't start until like 2016. And I was long gone. I wasn't a part of the industry anymore. Not the game journalism side. I was a full-time YouTuber. But the problem is, a lot of our old philosophies of don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion in the workforce, a lot of that stuff was steamrolled by the next generation of like game critics and stuff like that. They would start to write their beliefs and stuff in their work, and they would do all kinds of stuff that just like really ticked off a lot of people. Like readers didn't appreciate that. It was like, where's the jokes? Where's the corny references to 80s and 90s movies? Where is all that stuff? You know? I'm going to save that because I want to go for some stuff. We had a group of people that came into our business that basically didn't want to follow the rules. They wanted to change the rules, and they wanted to make people uncomfortable. I don't think that's right, you know? But then again, I come from the old world of game journalism. I grew up with people like Matt Kasama, the IGN Nintendo team, the Nintendo Power people. My writing style was based on Nintendo Power. So I was super old school. I got jobs in the game industry writing, like for game journalist stuff, based on my humor and my cheesy stuff. And I know it. It doesn't bother me. I enjoyed writing like that, because that's the stuff I grew up, you know, reading. I wanted to emulate that style because it was really fun. The words would flow together, and it was great. I can't say that fun is back in the game industry, because that's going to take years to happen, because there are still people with their head down right now. And no matter what you do to pressure them, they're not going to come out and say anything against anything until it's completely gone. And then they might not even say anything afterwards. I don't know. Some of these people were very private.
Oracle, they've killed one of the workers.
Damn it. We've got to stop them. Listen, I've managed to hack into the militia comms network. You'll be able to listen in on any channel-wide broadcast from now on.
Thanks, Oracle. I found a way to get the Batmobile into the compound. They'll pay for this. All of them.
That's because, Elijah, the content of the game bothers you. Most of the games that were made over the past 6 years, there's something in there that just makes you uncomfortable and angry, and you just don't feel fun playing the game. Because the game is trying to, you know, trying to preach to you, and you don't appreciate it. So every time you want to go back and look at a game that came out the past like 6 or 7 years, you don't really want to play it as much as a game that came out before then, because just not a fun game anymore. It was great during the first time, the first playthrough, but it doesn't have longevity because you don't want to surround yourself with stuff that not necessarily makes you uncomfortable, but makes you annoyed. It makes you cringe. That's how a lot of people feel, though.
What the hell? Commissioner, how's he doing?
And the thing is, a lot of people were allowed to feel that. But I don't know if you guys remember it. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but there were articles saying that you're not allowed to feel upset about this. If you're an ally, you're supposed to accept this. If you have any misgivings about this, you're the problem. They had articles like that. The Gamer, Kotaku, IGN. It was like a coalition working together in the game press and game developers and game studios all at the same time. So don't tell me it wasn't a cult. It was definitely a movement. They had agents all over the place. And the good people weren't allowed to say anything. That, to me, that screams cult. That's not normal. We would call that radicalism. They controlled the game press, they controlled the game developers, they controlled the consultant agencies, they controlled the publishers, they controlled the shareholders. All that stuff sounds pretty sus to me. That doesn't sound normal. Not one bit. But like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. It's over. You're witnessing the end of it right now. Even some places like IGN are actually doing regular news again. They still do spin articles once in a while, but if you've actually read IGN's work and followed it like I have the past, I don't know, I'm trying to think how many years, 10 years or so, you can see a difference in their writing style too. They're complaining less about what isn't in the game and actually talking about things about consoles and specific gameplay mechanics. They're not writing whole articles about diversity and all this other stuff anymore. They do once in a while, but it's not like... It used to be an everyday thing. I kid you not. They would do it every day. They would interject it into everything. They don't do it as much. Like the past, I'd probably say like 3 months. It's been a little bit of a change. But it's not going to go away overnight. You're silly to think that. It takes time.
Keep your guns trained on him. If he even looks like he's planning to leave that room, open fire. Oh, and avoid the bat symbol. It's a little trick. It's where his armor's the strongest. Aim for the weak spots at the shoulders first, then coordinate fire at the points where the plates meet.
Please.
You say something?
Leave him out of this.
Always defending the weak and the helpless. That's what I like about you. Predictable. And that's why we're gonna win. We know your move before you do. We know how you think.
40 minutes till 9 a.m. in Sweden.
Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
40 minutes until my follow-up email to Nagato. 40 minutes.
Who the hell is this guy?
No. I'm just trying to decide which one of you I'm going to take out first.
And just so we're both on the same page here, I fully intend to kill you. But first, we're gonna make you suffer. We have the target. Just say the word and I'll end.
Crybaby Jason, yeah.
Gotham will be ours. You don't understand. There are no second chances. Just say the word and I'll kill this freak. You'll regret this.
It's taking some getting used to use this PS3 controller, but I think it works okay. I literally hit Jason square in the face, and he didn't get KO'd. Everybody noticed that Batman ducked before? Batman ducked before the glass actually broke. That's kind of funny. like I said, and this is why common sense gets shut down. Anybody, whether they're Christian, gay, straight, whatever, you know, if you're a specialty group or a minority, I think you're allowed to make whatever type of game you want. What I think you're not allowed to do is what is going to alienate your core audience. You should always, no matter what game you create, you should always keep your core audience, your paying customers, in mind. If it's a mainstream game, don't bring nonsense into a mainstream game, because you're only going to affect your profit margin, and you're just going to tick off your core audience, and they're going to go somewhere else. And then what happens to your company? Well, in the case of 23 game developers this year, they go out of business, don't they? Why'd they go out of business? Because their customers, you and me, don't want to play their games anymore. Because we don't want to be preached to. We don't want to be finger wagged. We don't want to sit through things that we can't skip. And then if we go to complain on Twitter, we don't want to have smear campaigns and a bunch of weirdos ratioing us and saying all kinds of untruths things because we were having a bad day. You know? Because our day was ruined because the game we were looking forward to had a ton of nonsense in it.
Who was that guy? He kind of looks like you.
You're safe now.
You don't know the half of it, Batman. Scarecrow.
35 minutes until Sweden's job opens.
They've been running the plant for
Remind
hours.
me.
They brought in trucks, weapons, soldiers, shipments of hazardous materials. They knew exactly what they were doing.
He's producing his toxin on a massive scale.
It's bad. Real bad. We're talking about a gas cloud that could cover the entire eastern seaboard.
Where do I find Scarecrow?
I got no idea. All I know is he's moving ahead with his plan. And he's got a whole freaking army backing him up. We're screwed, Batman.
I'll stop him. But first I'm getting you out of here. Wait by the Batmobile.
Yep, thank you. Because I have to follow up, John.
Have you found Scarecrow?
Not yet. It's worse than I thought.
How much worse can it be?
He's building a bomb big enough to cover the entire East Coast in fear toxin. Take your men and get out of here. Head to GCPD and lock it down. Keep everyone inside.
I'll get my men off the streets, but I'm going nowhere. You bring anyone you find to me.
Jim, it's too dangerous.
You'll stop him. I know you will.
Sweden is the company that may or may not have stolen money. Swedish CPM or Swedish MCN by the name of Nagato. It is Monday morning, almost 9 a.m. in Sweden. That means YouTube said that the company would be going back to work and then they'll start paying their partners on Monday. That's what they think. But I know better. I'm pretty sure these people are long gone by now. Whatever countries are connected to Sweden, they're gone with the money. Probably 30 million. Because they have some really big partners that are in Nagato. Pretty big people.
Hold tight. I'll get you to Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I'm on edge because of what's going on with the rogue network that stole my money. But again, you guys are spreading a little bit of misinformation. The 50 grand that was stolen from me was in 2014. I haven't told you how much I made in the past 2 months. It's not 50 grand, it's way less than that. Way less. This isn't 2014 anymore. And remember, that was connected to all my channels. That was back when I was doing Arkham Origins content, Injustice, Disney Infinity, Skylanders, Batman lore, movie reviews. I was popping off a lot in 2014. All my channels. I didn't get paid for 3 months. All that work. It was stolen.
Great work. I knew you wouldn't let us down.
We're not done
And I
yet.
never let it affect me either.
Going back for the others.
Back then. But I suffered from it, didn't I? Oh, yes, I did. I ended up going into debt. I had to move from my home in Massachusetts, which I liked living in Boston. I had to go to Pennsylvania just to afford to live. I lost everything. And back then, YouTube told me, don't say anything about it. And nobody said anything for months, and the people who stole the money got away. The difference this time around, if this Swedish company did steal the money, they're not getting away. They think they're going to get away, but they're not getting away. Because last time, people neglected to act. They waited months. Months is enough time for people to disappear without a trace. A week? A week is a lot harder to outrun the police. Why do you sign on to a network? I didn't do it by choice. YouTube places people in MCNs. You cannot actually be partnered through YouTube. You can be part of the YouTube partner program, but they don't like people doing that. They prefer you work with MCNs, that way that you're not, you know, they're not liable. Anything happens, they throw all that liability under the MCN. That way they can use them as a scapegoat. It's also how they can avoid, like, making YouTube a union with all the people that work for it. There are tens of thousands of content creators around the world that exceed, I believe, some type of employee thing that the U.S. government requires. So how YouTube bypasses that is basically what they do is they create subsidiary companies known as multi-channel networks, and they have hundreds of them. And then they place partners into these MCNs. They were supposed to terminate MCNs in 2022, but they kept a lot open. They told the public that they shut down 100, but there's still 60 in operations. So for whatever reason, this Swedish company decided, hey, we're going to do that thing that Pharrella Digital did in 2014, and we're going to steal all these content creators, like, combined money. And no one is talking about it because YouTube is asking people, don't talk about this. The reason why they don't want people to talk about it is because YouTube doesn't want to be investigated. So they're going to throw 300 content creators under the bus. People are going to lose their homes. People are going to lose their jobs. They don't care. That's just how YouTube does things. It's pretty disturbing, but that's how YouTube does things. Me, I've got nothing left. So I'm going scorched earth. I've been a YouTuber for 18 years. I know a lot of things. I know how they do business. I know how CMSs work. I know how MCNs work. I know everything. This was not the guy you wanted to piss off. Oops. We're going full napalm. Wednesday. Shouldn't have stolen my money. Because even if I lose my home, even if I get thrown in jail by the IRS, I'm still taking a lot of people down with me.
Sir, the tanks can barely touch Alpha Target's vehicle. Offensive capability way beyond expectation.
Because if I can't pay my back taxes once a month, IRS is going to throw me in jail. That's what they told me 11 years ago. And with no money in the bank, I have no way of paying the IRS. IRS doesn't care about you. They just want their money. IRS is the biggest mafia in the United States of America. There is no negotiating with them. Nothing. Any mistakes they make is your fault. Forever. Until you pay it off. You're better off taking a bank loan or a credit card debt than dealing with SSI or the United States IRS. The biggest criminal organizations in the world. Disturbing, sick, scary people. That's probably what's going to happen, is probably this time in July, I'm probably going to be arrested by the IRS. Probably. Because I'm going to miss 1 month of payment, and that's going to be it. And the thing is, I feel like I've already paid them back. If I've been paying them $690 a month for 11 years, and I owed them about 70 grand, or 50 grand, something like that, then I should have paid that off by now. So they're probably charging me interest and all kinds of stuff to have me pay forever. Like a school loan or something. Because I feel like I paid it off already. And I couldn't afford it a couple years ago to make those payments. Plus because you have to remember, I was paying my new taxes too. This is the first year I haven't been able to pay my new taxes. I can't afford it. YouTube doesn't pay what it used to. So on top of that, some punk company in Sweden is stealing my money on top of that? Yeah, no. I have no reason to be silent. I have nothing to lose anymore. I'm not going to play YouTube's little quiet game. Why? Give me hush money, maybe. Even then, I don't care.
That's 2 dead workers now. I should have stopped this.
$8:33 a.m. 30 minutes. 30 minutes to see if these weasels ended up in their offices.
Batman, look. I've been talking with Robin. I really think you should consider letting him help you. You're up against an entire army.
She's right. We're a team. This city needs both of us.
I can handle it, Robin. I've told you what you have to do. Now do it.
This can wait.
No, it can't. You know what's at stake. I need you to stay focused, or things will get worse. Much worse.
All I wanted was just to be paid. That's it.
He only wants to help.
Don't let your feelings for him cloud your judgment.
You think I want him out there in harm's way? I'd rather he stay out of it. But he could help you.
I have a responsibility to take care of my wife,
Robin can't save
pay my bills.
The fallout
Can't do that when somebody steals my money.
will be every bit.
It's hard for me to be a, quote, good citizen or a nice person when I'm actually being attacked in another thing. Because you have to remember, I get DDoSed like once or twice a week, which impacts my income and does all kinds of stuff. And I just, like, I don't know if I take that in stride. It does tick me off, but this is a whole new level of evil. And the reason I'm concerned about it is, as I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, the reason why I was able to talk to the press and stuff like that, I said, I was actually going to work for a multi-channel network. So I know how it works. And when a content creator hits the little button on their channel that says remove access from your network, you get a special alert as a manager to your email, to your dashboard. There would be big asterisks all over the content management system of Nagato right now because 50 partners have demanded that their channel be removed. If there were people working there, they would see this, which means highly likely that they ran with the money, because you cannot ignore those messages. If you're ever a YouTuber and you click that button, okay, someone who represents that network is going to act like they are your best friend and plead with you and try to wine and dine you to make you stay. They do not want you to leave because they will lose money. The only way they will not contact you is if they already have your money. It's 100% true. So the fact so many of us have already hit that button, over 50 of us, their computer should be lit up like Christmas. So that means they're not there. Yep, that's right, William. Yep. So that's my biggest concern. Amber's worried about homeless. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about going to jail from the IRS. That's what gave me my panic attack the other night. Because I thought YouTube finally... Here's the thing. In 2015, when Amber and I lost all that money, I actually worked with YouTube to, like, make some type of system or some type of way of combating if a channel is taken hostage by an MCN. Because there was no way to get out of a network before. So I worked with YouTube suggesting whatever things we could do to make it so that channels would not be held hostage. Because we were held hostage for 3 months without us knowing. So that little mechanism in YouTube that says remove access, I helped with that. I complained to YouTube on your behalf, creators, because I suffered losses. I suffered health concerns. I lost money. I lost reputation. So you're welcome. That mechanism did not exist until Amber and I were attacked by that network. Was not a thing. All these years later, I've always tried to plead with YouTube, you guys need to make sure you protect your partners. And they assured me years ago that something like this would never happen again because they were dissolving the MCNs. Guess what? The MCNs still exist. So that means they lied. Because if they didn't lie and they actually got rid of them, I guess an MCN wouldn't have stole our money, huh? Seems to me they lied. And the reason why they did it is because they don't want to be held accountable for how big YouTube is. They don't want the FTC sniffing around, finding more shady ways of YouTube doing business. And the thing is, TikTok and Twitch, they're all just as shady as YouTube. They do just as shady stuff as, like, all these companies do. When money's involved, of course they do. They don't care about the little guy. Why would they? I don't think I can actually blast anything, though. Hold Batmobile to do what? Oh, I see it now. How am I going to get over this if I don't have a place to live? How am I going to get over this if I'm behind bars? What are you talking about? Get over this. I'm stressed to the nines. Why would I go work on another channel that I'm not going to earn money on? What are you talking about? How is that? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, my O1 channel is probably going to get erased. Whatever video I release that channel on is going to get erased. YouTube's going to be ticked. You watch. I guarantee you the video is going to get a copyright strike. It's going to get, like, my channel will, like, disappear overnight. I think the O1 channel is going to disappear, like, Thursday or Friday. One or two things is going to happen. Either the channel's going to get shadow banned for the video, number one, so that nobody can see it. Or YouTube is so afraid of me and what I know that my channel will have its access removed or it'll have a copyright strike or something. And I'm not going to have any pictures or anything in my video. It's just going to be a black screen.
That's 3 dead now. These animals are going to pay.
We'll stop them. We always do, right?
This channel is through the YouTube Partner Program. But they stuck me in an MCN. So as soon as I get pulled out of the MCN, back in the day, you were not partnered through YouTube. You were partnered through a multi-channel network. And then when YouTube was pulling the plug on MCNs, all partners had to apply to the YouTube Partner Program, and they had to wait like 3 to 4 months to get approved while they were still in their MCN. So that way, when the because MCNs were supposed to be shut off on, MCNs were supposed to be closed off on, where's that email? Dear Kwing, ah, here it is. So this is from February 2022. To who it may concern, Kwings Let's Plays, owner of Kwings Let's Plays, just to let you know that the network blah 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 that you're associated with blah 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 will be terminated in 6 days. We recommend that you sign up for the YouTube Partner Program located here so that we can place you into new blah 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 blah. You will not receive any copyright strikes or any problems with your channel. Monetization will be removed for this and such date. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so they were supposed to terminate MCNs back in February of 2022. Because MCNs were causing them problems. They were losing money. Why they still kept some MCNs around, I don't know. But as long as YouTube keeps these multi-channel networks around, people will be able to steal money and not get caught, because apparently YouTube's not going to do anything against them. That's what it looks like.
To reach the worker, I need a way to move this elevator.
I don't know the corporate term for it because I've been awake a long time and I've been writing emails all day, dealing with a lot of idiots and all kinds of stuff. Like I'm wound pretty tight, so I can't remember specific terms right now. But I do know it's shady as all get out. But my video Wednesday goes over the incident of 2014. It shows the comparison of 2025. Like, yeah, 2025 shows the comparison. How both crimes are very eerily similar. It's almost like the same people who committed the crime in 2014 are doing it again. Because YouTube doesn't have a screening process for employees for MCNs. Especially ones that are located overseas. And again, this network is from Sweden, but it also has operations in Hong Kong, the Philippines, and Denmark.
I will attack units on Neogani now. Give me a drone patrolling every damn back alley.
If I'm going to reach the worker, I need a way to move this elevator.
But like I said, I'm not being cordial anymore. I'm not just, like, years ago, I was naive, right? I was naive when this happened in 2014. I was like, you know, I can just take the hit. I just have to get my channel out. That's the only thing I cared about. Release my channels. I made a video. I had a lot of dirt on Foxittle and Forella Digital. I demanded they release my video, or they release my channel.
This is as high as the
They released my channel immediately after I posted the video. And I lost all that money. And I thought everything was fine. Except, you know, we had to leave Massachusetts, but it wasn't until I was living in Pennsylvania for 3 months and we finally had savings again and everything was going well that I got a letter from the IRS. And that was it. Game over. So I thought that everything that we survived and everything was fine. And the IRS came after me. And that's when everything happened. That's when everything got worse. I went to court. I did everything I could to prove that it was a mistake and to prove that I did not earn that money. And that it was a mistake in the books. And I even showed them the bank account. I had proof and I showed them the receipts. I showed them the bank account to the lawyer. It showed that there was no deposits for that amount. They still charged me. They didn't care. They were like, we're going after this guy. We can easily get 100,000 out of him. Let's go. That's what the IRS did to me. I had proof in court with documentation that we never put that money into our account. We never received it. It never even made it to our PayPal. They didn't care. That's why the IRS is evil. That's why the IRS needs to go bye-bye. And that's why they probably enforce... Like, there's probably lots of people that are arrested by the IRS that didn't do anything. They're just trying to basically collect money from people. Collect more money from people. That's what happened. And there's nothing I can do about it. And I guarantee you, when I can't pay them the $6.90 at the end of the month, I'm screwed.
It's okay. You're safe.
You're too late. We're both already dead. You know about the bomb he's building, right?
Where is he?
I heard him saying he was in the central mixing chamber. You know what that means.
He's getting ready to release his toxin.
I've seen what that stuff does to people. If that gas gets out there, it's gonna be chaos.
I won't let that happen. I'm getting you out of here.
I'm not good at naming videos. The Wednesday video is going to be like, this could happen to any YouTuber.
Jim, I've rescued the second worker. I'm coming to you.
What about Scarecrow?
He's in the central mixing chamber. As soon as the technicians are safe.
Or the video is going to say, this can happen to any YouTube partner.
Worse, Jim. But I'll stop him. You have my word.
12 minutes. Yep, 8:49. Stockholm, Sweden. June 23rd. Yep, it's almost 9 o'clock when they start work. I will tell you what I wrote them. I made 2 cordial things, and I made a very mean email. So this was my last email to them yesterday, after I emailed them a couple times. This is the 5th email. No contact from them. Dear so-and-so, you have until Tuesday, June 24th, 11:59 p.m. to pay me and contact YouTube legal department or blah, blah, blah and explain what happened and why you refused to do your job. If you do not pay me on this date at this time, I will be reporting you to the Swedish law enforcement and additional agencies. This is your only warning. People have been trying to reach you since Thursday for the past 48 hours with no response from you. You better respond. That's my last warning to them. Because I'm too small a YouTuber, detective. That's why. YouTubers will only make stories on people that are big. It doesn't get them clicks. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about who's impacted. It doesn't matter. It has to do with the size and if the YouTuber who's making the video will profit off the video. That's the truth. It's probably not the truth you want to hear, but it's the truth. YouTubers only do something if they benefit from it. I didn't even bother contacting him because I knew he wouldn't do anything. The size of your channel matters. The size of your audience matters. How much money you make a month matters. If any of those fall below the margin of what a YouTube is looking for, they know they can't profit off of you and they're not going to do anything. That's just how it works.
Alfred.
I saw, sir. Initial scans indicate that the craft is unmanned and being controlled remotely.
Weapons lock deactivated.
Come on then, hero! Let's see if you can keep up with me!
What? Oh, I'm sorry for waking you up, honey. I mean, we can try to do that thing, the divided payment for rent. I guess. I don't want to think about it, honey. Right now, I'm, you know, July is paid off for rent. I know about August. I don't want to think about it right now. Shut up, Jason.
Nice shooting! I wish I could be in there, but then, you know, you just hold back.
Whoops, I missed.
Come on! Give me a real fight!
The reaction's slowing down because I'm tired, Jason. I'm gonna blow up. Clutch.
If I leave the car now, the technician will be a sitting duck.
You haven't won! Tonight, you pay! For everything!
Oracle. Scarecrow is preparing the bomb in the central mixing chamber. I need a way in, and I need it now.
I'm working on it, but I'm gonna need a couple minutes.
Find it, Barbara.
Patience is a virtue. You've heard that, right? Guess not.
I don't remember how to do this part. Isn't there supposed to be a way out of here?
Your allies won't help you tonight, Batman. I will be the end of you all.
All right. That's, yeah. Been a long time since I haven't played New Game Plus. So this is all happening now.
These two were lucky. Scarecrow's forces have murdered the other workers.
Bastards.
Take them back to GCPD, but be careful, Jim. There's militia all over.
IRS can do whatever they want. What are you talking about? My court agreement was that I would pay $690 a month until it was paid off. I wouldn't miss one payment. Yep. So I mean, I don't think you understand that the IRS is not a lawful, nice organization. They're crooks. They got away with putting us in financial ruin. You really think that they're going to care? Like, they're going to be compassionate that if I went to their offices this week near, like, Philadelphia and I told them, hey, I just had money stolen from me, you know what they would tell me? So you're saying that you can't pay what you owe us this month. I don't have the money. They'll arrest me on the spot. I guarantee it. I guarantee you. I bet you $1 million they will arrest me on the spot that I go to them for help. That's just the type of people they are. Guaranteed.
Oracle, I need that route to Scarecrow. We're running out of time.
You're not gonna like this. There's only one entrance, and it's been sealed from the inside.
What about the service tunnel?
It runs behind the main wall of the facility. I've sent you the location. What are you going to do?
Just try to calm down, Jalen. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. I have a lot going on right now that I can't be my plucky, normal Mr. Rogers self. There's a lot going on. There's a tremendous amount of stuff going on. Okay, because I did an upgrade that went away. Good.
I'll never get past those tanks without the car.
Well, I mean, contacting them at 9 o'clock if they don't respond. Oops. First death. I forgot what I was supposed to do there.
I don't think you'll be solving.
You have to remember that I gave them until... They still have until Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. to trigger payment into my account. Today's only Monday. I'm being nice enough to give them 48 hours. I don't need to be nice.
Oracle, I need that route to Scarecrow. We're running
If they
out of
don't
time.
respond today, that means they're not there. So that means that I will be...
What about the service
I'll be
tunnel?
calling the police probably tonight over in Sweden.
What are you going to do?
And reporting the crime. Calling it an international crime, because it is international. If they did steal it.
I need to get the car into this area before I can use it.
Oh, that's right. We have to do the puzzle. That's what I did wrong. I will let you out in a little bit.
Is the strike team ready? I'm with them now. The asset is a crucial element of my plan. Do not disappoint me. Oh, I never disappoint.
What do you think they're planning?
First, we need to focus on stopping Scarecrow. Then I'll deal with the Knight.
Oops. I don't know how to release the crane. Oh. There. I'm trying, MJ. I'm trying really hard. I'm just kind of falling apart at the seams a little bit. Very angry, very, very hurt. I don't like feeling like a victim, especially when there's something I can do about it. I got a response from, just now I got an email from somebody. Because it's 9 in the morning in Sweden, so I'm going to see what the email says. It says I got an email. It's not from who I wanted it. Not taking action. He's not taking action against them. He knows that we... Oh my... Oh, I'm gonna lose it. One sec. The coward! So it's up to me. What if the police don't do anything? I'm still reporting the crime. If the police don't do anything, there's nothing I can do. I'm still reporting it. That's all I can do. I don't live in Sweden. Even if the police just go to check to see, and then they say there's nobody there, then I'll be like, can I speak to a detective or something? Or can I email you because this is an international thing? This is costing me a lot of money to call you. Like, can I email a detective or something? And I'll tell you everything that's happening. Because if they're not in their office when they're supposed to be, because I was just emailed now from someone who knows them. They don't, their Twitter's not active. Oh, like, police officers aren't on Twitter, honey. No. No, honey. I'm not talking to the local police. I'm calling Sweden.
The soldiers are covered by that sentry gun.
Why would I call the... What can local PD do? No, they can't. They'll say it's not their jurisdiction.
You really did go to the
why would I... That doesn't work, sweetheart.
If we manage to kill this bastard, I'm taking his car.
I wish it was that easy.
I hope we get the orders soon. I don't want to be inside of this place when the bomb goes off.
Yeah, so... The stuff about not taking action, the person says they know them. They've known them for 5 years and done business. So they think it's some type of hiccup. But it's like, if it was some type of hiccup, they would have responded by now because 50 people have requested that they have their access removed and they be allowed to go work somewhere else.
Batman,
this is not a hiccup.
Precinct. God knows how. There are tanks everywhere. The bastards must
He's
have
a
been
naive
planning this
fool.
for weeks.
Dig in and do what you can, Jim. I'll deal with them as soon as I've stopped the explosion.
We're all counting on you, Batman. We'll get through this. I know we will.
What people don't understand is people that you think you know, you don't know. Like, they could have been planning this for 5 years. If you don't know these people in real life, you don't know them. Having a you know, very cordial and polite conversation on the phone or whatever is not the same as getting to know them in person. And I know for a fact that this person doesn't know them in person. He's just worked with them as like another MCN type thing. That's not the same thing as actually knowing people. I've put on a pretty good, nice Mr. Rogers mask for 18 years. I'm not that nice in real life. Most YouTubers aren't. I'm Brooklyn nice.
I need to get the car into this area before I can use it.
It's just, it's really annoying.
This is it! All units evacuate the Ace Chemicals facility. I say again, this is the final evacuation order. Anyone left behind will die painfully and afraid. So move it!
Well, that's weird. Can you block somebody's email? I just tried to email support of Nagato and it says my email won't go through. Is it possible to block somebody's email address? See, I don't know these things. I'm gonna try again. Yeah, it's not going through. I have my follow-up message written to them. That's really weird. I've been emailing them all weekend. Now I can't email them anymore. That looks very suspicious. I don't know, Uncle Howdy. I don't even know if you can block somebody's email. I don't know.
Listen up. I just got word that Phase 1 is complete. Right now, our client is preparing to engulf the city in a cloud of fear gas. Do not forget your training. Gas masks, useless. Respirators, useless. Only two
Well, then I'm blocked. I can't respond to them.
underground or as high as you can above it. Exposure to toxin causes severe psychosis, and in extreme cases, self-harm. You've all got your assigned rendezvous point, so be there, or God help you. And when you're there, sit tight. We've got drones on the streets, watchtowers scanning the skies. All we need to do is babysit this city, and let Arkham Knight and Scarecrow work out a few personal issues with the Bat. Come dawn,
I got a bad feeling about this.
very generous retirement plan. Got it? Sir, we heard that a consignment of the fear chemical was moved off-site. That is correct. Those resources have been assigned to Phase 3 of the operation.
Does that mean they erased their email?
No? Good. Now I'm gonna run you through this again so we're all clear. Right now, our client is preparing to engulf this city in a cloud of fear gas. Do not forget your training. Gas masks, useless. Respirators, useless. Only two things can keep you safe, men. Getting underground, or as high as you can above it. Exposure to toxin causes severe psychosis.
Okay, I'm starting to get really upset now.
Train for this moment, Batman. Prepare to die.
Okay, well, not necessarily upset. I feel my heart racing. I'm getting a little... The email's not inactive. I've been emailing it all week.
He's not bluffing, Bruce. I guess now we know why he evacuated the city.
He needed control of the plant. Only Ace Chemicals has the facilities to build a bomb of this size.
The fallout will be huge.
We played right into his hands. He didn't care if everyone ran.
He knew that no one would be able to escape the blast radius.
All remaining units, rendezvous at the staging ground on the West Island, now! You've done good work tonight, people. Gotham is ours!
If you work for a foreign company, how do you report a crime? If you're an individual working for a foreign company and you need to report a crime, here's how you can approach it. Report the crime to local law enforcement. What would that do? Consider reporting to relevant authorities if the crime involves immigration issues. No. Okay, let me try something else.
I need to get the car into this area before I can use it.
Can you call a foreign country to report a crime committed by a company in that country? Reporting crime committed by a company in a foreign country typically involves contacting local law enforcement in the country where the crime occurred, because they have jurisdiction. No frickin' duh! Well, you can inform your local police. They likely will engage with Interpol. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's protocol. Okay. Of course you would call the local authorities of that country. Stupid Google. Jeez. I think I am an idiot.
I need to get the car into this area before I can use it.
This is not my week. This is not my week. I'm not having a great night, Dobby Lee. I'm sorry. I'm not the nice Mr. Rogers that you know today. Going through a lot of stuff at the moment. Got a lot going on that I can't really. Just gonna finish my live stream, beat the Scarecrow, unlock Joker, and then I have a lot of work to do behind the scenes. There's a lot going on. One of my worst fears is looks like it's coming true.
Tonight is the night that Gotham changes forever.
I'm kind of freaking out.
The night becomes a wasteland.
Trying to stay cool, but I'm pretty.
A forsaken symbol of Batman's failure. A monument to fear. But more than that, we're about to turn Gotham into the epicenter of a blast that will transform the entire eastern coast of America into my domain.
I need to stop the chemicals being loaded into the mixing chamber. Once I clear the room, I can focus on stopping the explosion.
If he comes back, we gotta be ready. Oh, I'm ready. Fill that freak with lead.
Yeah, I'm getting myself all.
Emergency. Blast radius is at 23 miles and driving.
Is he gone? I think he's gone. He's just waiting for another opening. Don't give it to him. Hear that? You know how you fight, Batman. Back off.
Well, apparently the Steam Deck version of Arkham Knight works really well from what I can tell.
We are on a tight schedule here. Gotham is going to pay
I'm getting used
for
to
what
the
his
faster
savior
frame
did to
rates
me.
and all this other stuff. It took a while to get used to it, though.
Emergency. Blast radius is at 31 miles and rising.
Hey, Batman! We're not afraid of you. The Arkham Knight taught us all your tricks. He knows you inside.
That's not a fear take. Wait, I didn't want to do a fear takedown. I just wanted to do a double takedown. Without alerting people with a fear takedown. Oh, whatever. Who cares?
You each have been given a task. Complete that task, and pray that you will not experience my fear toxin firsthand. The people of Gotham can run all they like, but they will not avoid their fate.
Emergency. Blast radius is at 46 miles and rising.
How do I disable this thing? Dang it. It wouldn't let me break this thing, though, that I was standing next to. That's really weird.
It appears that the flow of chemicals has stopped, which can only mean that you are here, Batman. I've been looking forward to seeing you again.
Sorry, guys. That was just, like, the response that... Because at this point, this hiccup has already put us in financial jeopardy because, like, it's already well past the 16th. Our bills have already come through. Our bank account is already ruined. And this guy tells me it's just a small hiccup. I'm sure everything is fine over there. So that means he had the entire weekend to formulate a plan, and I expressed the concern. It feels like, yeah, he cares more about them than me, and he's known me longer. He's known me way longer than them. If I was running his network, yeah.
I know you're out.
Do you really think you've won? Fear makes you predictable. I am in complete control.
How do I shut it down?
Let me go, or she dies.
What are you talking about?
Barbara Gordon.
Have you found him?
Get out of there, now!
Relax. No one knows I'm here.
Nothing hurts like losing one of the family. Knowing that there is no one to blame but yourself.
Alfred.
I heard what that maniac said to you, sir. I've been trying to contact Miss Gordon, unfortunately with no success.
Keep trying.
Warning, explosion imminent. Warning, explosion imminent. Warning, explosion. Preparing neutralizing agent.
What are you doing? It's too late. You can't stop it.
I know. I'm not trying to stop it, but I can reduce the blast radius.
And what will happen to you?
That doesn't matter. Find her, Alfred.
Neutralizing agent deployed.
These canisters are highly volatile. I'm going to have to move slowly. Be very careful.
Sir, I urge you to reconsider. Evacuate now. If you're caught in that blast, you will die.
There's no other way, Alfred.
There's always a way, sir. Please.
Nice and easy. So just so you guys know, it removed the Bale skin a while ago. But tomorrow's episode, I'll wear the Bale skin again. I will be doing a part 2. I'm only doing the story, though. Not doing the full, like, all the side missions and things like that. And I'm sorry for dragging down your guys' 10-year celebration. It's just, there's so much that's going on on my channel, in my life, with my finances, and everything just collided at once. And I just can't, I can't keep up with that happy YouTube persona.
My fault they took her.
She was aware of the risks, Master
When
Bruce.
literally the
She'll be
world
as
around
angry
me
as
is
you
falling
are that
apart.
she's allowed this to happen.
Well, I wouldn't say persona, but I can't keep up the nice guy routine.
This is what he wants. Without you, Gotham will be at his mercy. You cannot let
Nice guy energy. Thank you, honey. Uh-oh. Oh. Why is it not going in? Well, I am using a controller that wasn't designed for it. Arkham Knight was not designed for a PS3 controller. But it still works pretty well.
I'm monitoring that facility. You're out of time. I'm begging you, leave now.
It's what you taught me. Do the right thing. That's all that matters.
Master Bruce, I implore you. You must get out of there. If this is about Miss Gordon, you cannot blame yourself for what's happened. Save yourself before it's too late.
Goodbye, Alfred.
Neutralizing agent deployed. Blast radius increased by 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Oh my gosh.
Miss me?
Great. How the hell am I supposed to get in?
Voice pattern analyzed. Identification confirmed. Welcome, Commissioner Gordon.
Unbelievable.
A hiccup, uh-huh. Oh. Sorry guys, I'm not thinking clear anymore.
What the hell is this place?
Can we get the jump scare over with?
Miss me already,
Okay.
Max? Oh, it's you, Commissioner Boredom. What have you done with my soul?
Commissioner, thank God. You have to get
Nope.
me out of here. They've locked me up, running tests like I'm some kind of guinea.
What do you want, pig? Coming in here eyeballing me. You think you can police
Don't care, we've seen this a million times.
Don't tell me.
How you doing?
You are the police commissioner. Your face was on that billboard they replaced with mine. What are you waiting for, old timer? Johnny C doesn't do requests.
Come on, Bats, where are you?
Batman.
Meh.
I'm glad you came, Jim. You need to see this.
What is this place? Who are these people?
Before it killed him, Joker sent his infected blood out to all the hospitals in the state.
I know, we tracked it all down.
We missed some.
How?
Hospital errors. Transfusions that went unrecorded. 5 people were affected. Untreated, the blood's gestated too long. It's altering them. They're becoming...
Joker. My God.
It's a form of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, but mutated beyond anything on medical record.
What about that one? He doesn't look like the others.
Henry Adams. He's been infected the longest, but he's symptomless. Immune to Joker's blood. I've got Robin running tests to find out why. One thing's for certain. Henry's the key to all this.
I've cooperated. I've done everything you asked. You said it would only take a few days.
You can't hold him here against his will.
We're close, Jim. We can't let him go until we save the others.
Wait. You said 5. I only count 4. There's one missing.
He'll be here soon.
Can you hear me, Bruce?
Oh, don't act all surprised, Bats. You knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Me stuck deep inside you. Together, we're going to give the city what it deserves. A new Batman. A better Batman. A darker, more... Well, we can come back to this later. First, we need to agree on some priorities. Sure, you saved the city by reducing the blast, but Ace Chemicals is still about to explode. You need to start looking out for yourself. After all, you're brooding for two now. Yes, I'm really here, and no, you can't kill me again. I'm playing for keeps this. Oh, Bats, I missed you. All the subtlety and nuance of a napalm enema.
I'm in shock, honey. I'm fine. Well, no, I'm not fine. I'm in shock. I'm too tired to be angry anymore. I can't believe it. Yeah, probably.
Alfred.
Oh, thank God. When the explosion... I thought you might be...
It's okay, Alfred. I managed to reduce the blast radius and prevented the toxin from spreading into the city.
But what about Scarecrow? Or this Arkham Knight character? They've got tanks, missiles. Their forces are all over Gotham.
Crane got away. I was exposed to his toxin.
Good Lord, are you all right? Remember what happened at the asylum?
It's okay. I had a bad reaction. But it's over now.
I've really got to hand it to Scarecrow. I've never been a fan of his concoctions up till now, but this match, it's intoxicating. It really brings out the me in you.
You're fine, Jalen. Don't worry about it.
Sir, did you hear what I said? Commissioner Gordon has been trying to contact you.
Thanks, Alfred. Jim.
You got out. See, I said you wouldn't let me down.
I need to speak to you.
Sure. What is it?
Meet me outside GCPD prisoner detention. I'm heading there now.
Not today, I'm not. Yeah, just relax, guys. So the plan stays. According to what Google tells me, they said I can contact local law enforcement, but I should really be speaking with, if it's a foreign crime, I need to be speaking with Interpol. I don't know how I'm going to contact Interpol. I don't know. It says I'm probably going to have to go and talk to the police because it says the police contact Interpol on your behalf. I think we are going to have to go locally. I would not tell somebody who's freaking out and literally their whole life is falling apart around them and say that it's just a hiccup. It's already almost 10 in the morning in Sweden. There's no way that they don't show up to work till 1 o'clock. They're not there. The fact that they just disconnected their email, exactly. I don't believe that it's a hiccup. I don't. This has... I'm having flashbacks of 2014 all over again. Like, I'm losing it. And there's nobody talking about this at all. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Everyone else is cowards. You know, I should find out all the YouTubers that are associated with Nagato and blast them on Twitter. I should spend the night, like, looking over all the YouTube channels to see what MCNs are associated with. I know, Amber, Amber, I'm not talking to you. No, I'm not going to give them 24 hours. I'm like based. No, Amber, I don't need you to do anything. I don't need you to do anything. I can do stuff on my phone. Fine. Okay. Alright, I gotta go, guys. More Batman tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be better news. But yeah, I'm not waiting 24 hours. I'm gonna file with the I'm gonna speak to a local officer. Yeah. And they'll contact Interpol, because a civilian can't you know, a civilian can't really contact Interpol. That's a European international agency, like, you know. So anyway, I was not expecting that email. That made things worse. So see you later.